Oh, hello everyone. You okay? Welcome in. Right. So, hey, semi spontaneous stream idea today. Oh, so yo, Joe, so what's up? How's it going? How's everyone doing? I hope the day is treating you all well. Got a bit of an odd sort of spontaneous stream idea today. Because I kind of had this in mind for like the last week or so of doing sort of mini reminiscent of 2025, and also looking towards 2026, because I've been working, I've been scheming some planning for 2026, and I'm actually comfortable enough to kind of talk about what I got coming up. Maybe see the live reactions of what I'm scheming. Timeless, hey, how you doing? Just defeated cleric. Wait, oh, nice. Like, when did you actually start playing Bloodborne today? Because I did see some messages about it earlier, but like, yo, congrats on the cleric beast one. I hope you enjoy that game. I look, Bloodborne. It's one of my favorite games of all time, so I'll be like absolutely crossing my fingers that it ends up being a great experience for you. Because God, I need more people in my life to just yap about not streaming, just see. Oh yeah, yeah. I thought you were just playing it casually because I know I didn't see the stream, but yeah, no. Like I hope it goes really well, just because like I love the game, and I hope you have a great time with it. Oh man, I don't know. I just love like having people to like yap away to Bloodborne too. Uh, but anyway, before I like get distracted and turn this into like Bloodborne tangent. Well, I couldn't go on a huge Bloodborne tangent because I don't want to spoil Timeless. It needs to experience the absolute peak that is Bloodborne itself. Oh wow. But yeah, where the hell did I start? So I don't know. 2025, I guess, just to start, shitting off the rim. Like, it was a weird year, because, I'm not lie, there was a lot of, like, IRL stuff with 2025 that was, like, absolutely shit, an absolutely miserable year. Uh, but that is not something I want to bring to stream. That's near here or there. Because I want to kind of focus more on I'm here streaming. I want to focus more on the streams the stuff. And you know what? Honestly, content wise, I would say this has been a pretty damn good year. Not even just like content, like I do video, get view, whatever. Because I had the chance to like really meet a whole load of new people this year. Dabble in like different communities, and yeah, even some like older like friend groups I wasn't super familiar with. I got to like get some reconnections going on, and that's also like just as nice, I would say. Because that's the kind of like really neat thing. Oh, is it Noor? Hi, thank you for the blood offering. Also, Noor, I want to say, I saw the recent tweet that you shared. Yeah, your artist friend who did that. You send them like my biggest props because I absolutely loved that. I loved it. Oh, I got a good laugh from that. In fact, actually, hold on. I'm gonna get it up because we're gonna be switching over screens really soon, and I just want to like show this off because it's so. Oh, I actually got such a good laugh from it. But yeah, hi, welcome in. I hope you're doing well. I got that command like when we had been playing backroom. So so that's quite a while ago. What a really fitting time for it, because it's funny you say that, because our time in backrooms was kind of what I like initially thought of when I first saw that. I'm like, oh god, that's the That's the vibe. Oh man, but yeah, that was really good. There you go. There's a good example for you there, chat of like good like new interactions and community spirit. And obviously, right, what would it be if I wasn't talking about you know, the huge deal that was you know, getting into V3 and cooking stuff up with him. I know like the past few months have been really slow, but like uh illnesses and flus just decided to kick the ass of like everyone in V3. You know, I had my infection to fight off. A lot of members got like terrible flus or sickness. Like, uh, yeah, we were all just kind of dying, and then obviously what the usual life stuff. So that's kind of why things on the V side have maybe been like a bit slow. But you know, it is what it is, and hopefully we should be picking up steam again. Because that is the plan. We've already kind of discussed some kind of plans, some ideas that we've got for both the V-Fright Discord server as well as you know, actual like streams and whatnot. So hope you're gonna be looking forward to that. Oh my goodness, Ray. The plague, everyone's down. Ray, welcome in. Oh, oh, you had a good stream. What was it you were doing? Overwatch, I think it was. I know you were doing Overwatch like earlier with Echo. Actually, hold on. Hold on. Let me like slap this open real quick. So that I can get the shout out. I miss my okay. The only bad thing I can say about moving over from Streamlabs to OBS is that I miss my fancy shout out tool. Yo, no problem, no problem. Make sure I want to make sure I like type this out correctly. But yeah, welcome in Raiders. For those of you who don't know me, hi, I'm Unleashed Nick Wheel, a vampire VTuber from Scotland. You can just call me Unleashed or Nickdo, either or does. Most folks call me Unleashed, but you know, Nickdo works as well. I ain't gonna like complain about that. Wait, huh? Oh, right, yeah, because, duh, right, yeah, mods and chat, because Mimi, yo, Mimi, thanks for that. I, I need to get used to the fact, like, oh yeah, mods can do things for me. I can, like, bark a command at them and they'll do the thing. Uh, I'm so used to, like, the mods usually, well, I don't know, I say not being on hand when I need them, but, eh. Yeah, I'm actually doing pretty good. Had a pretty chill day. Maybe very obedient. Yeah, Mimi is locked in. Like, best mod. I can say that like uncontested. I don't think any of the other mods are here. But yeah. Shout out and praise to Mimi. Best mod. Best guru. She's a little guy from Rio. Yeah, little guy who's very locked in, but you know, if you want to play the just the little guy card, then who am I to stop you? But yeah, please check out Sunshine Studios, Ray, because they're a great person. They were actually one of the people I was yapping about of like, oh yeah, new friend group that's great, getting to meet. And also they recently did. I know I shared it in my Discord server for those who have seen that the piece I showed the one from when I was playing juniors, I know that animatronic is haunted, I just can't prove it. Yeah, that was Ray who was responsible for doing that art piece. So, you know, if you want to see some good like Overwatch 2 gameplay or just good like you know, the art skills at work, check him out please. Yes, definitely would recommend. Just a little guy playing hit game Sonic Racing Cross. I'm so sad that I missed the whole ass festival in that game. That kinda crushed me a little bit. But I promise, like, look, I'm not usually. Oh my god, what is happening with my eyes? Um, I'm not usually one of those 2026 will be my year kind of guy, but maybe 2026 will be my year for Sonic Racing Crossroads. Maybe I'll finally get my ass up to legend rank. I think I'm like B rank or something now. So you know, um, I need to put in a little bit of work, a little bit of elbow grease. You missed me because you hate me. SMH, my hate. No, 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 trust. I was just very busy this holiday season, and I forgot about it because of my one undead brain cell. That's all it was. I'm just a silly. I'm just a silly guy, not a mean guy. Please believe me. I mean, get up to you. Please, Sonic Racing Crossroad. Uh, oh boy. Anyway, so we'll get into the first main idea I had because I was thinking, how to do, a good reminiscence stream, and I'm like, because I could just yap about any old thing, but I think the thing that I want to focus on first is let's talk about the games I played over the year because I played a good hefty amount of new games in 2025, and here on the internet, right, there is only one way that we know how to rate our opinions of something in a very fun, light-hearted, and very creative, original way. That's right, everyone. It's oh my god, wait, huh? That's not what should be coming up. Uh, it's me cloning myself, apparently. No, it's tier list. Oh my god, like it's the most original idea ever. Do it, man. Oh my god, tier list. Are you surprised? Does it catch you off guard? Is people very surprised or impressed with my super creative idea? It's not okay. Generic idea, but it's like a way that I can yap about stuff. Um, cause yeah, well, you know what? Actually, I'm looking at it, and it's like the list has actually got a decent amount of chunk to it. Yeah, then I thought, uh, wowie zowie. Oh, right. Yeah. Before I forget, sorry, I had this Twitter tab open to show off like the meme that Noir posted that I really liked. This goddamn meme with like her, she and me, just this. Do you know the person behind you? And then so who was it again? Oh, Lovey Doe. Yeah, they actually do some good stuff. You know what? Hold on. Oh fuck! I'm giving them a follow. And also now that I've done my like starting stream post, I can retweet this without it being like covered up. But yeah, no, I really like this. That was funny. But I'm actually I just noticed what is that like the is that like what one of the feathers or like smile like right in the shadow there? I only just noticed that detail there. Outcome memories in D tier to rage bait Nape. Oh, I hate you say that because you know what, that is the actual kind of thing I would do. Here's what we do, right? We don't even call it D tier. Trash, right? We call it trash, and then we do you know what we do actually? Just to super piss off Nep, because Nep gifted me Rain World for my birthday. So like, if we just put these games in trash, right, and then we put like, I don't know, let's just have random hypothetical games in the tier list. Uh, yeah, like, I don't know, oh, especially yeah, because he thinks Repo is like just an okay game, right? So we gotta like put Repo like at the absolute top. Um, like yeah, we're gonna do like something like this, and then we you know just take a screenshot, bam, bada bing, bada boom, nep, rage bait is served. The placements, the you know where I place these games on the tier list doesn't actually reflect where they're going. Maybe, maybe not. We'll talk about it. You know, get our opinions and shit. Good. Are we doing our troll our friends tier list? Yeah, if I wanted to troll my friends, here's how I do this. Take Sonic Racing Crossover. It's trash. There we go. That's maybe angered. You know, Night Rain, trash, most like Roll Slop, ooh, they ruined everything. There we go, that's Shima Noir and Timeless rage baited. Who else could have rage bait? Peak, certainly anything but Peak with the Bam, Joven's rage baited. I don't know, like, Sally gave me Lemon Lana, oh, that's trash as well. Sally rage bait. Me just thinking I'm just easily rage baiting everyone like this. I am now angry. No, it's just a joke, bro. It's just a joke, bro. Right? Yeah. We just play, and I'm not actually. Uh So check it. Yay! I did it. I'm evil. I'm fucking evil now. I've pissed off and angered everyone. I'm so good at this rage baiting thing. Damn. Fucking. I'm gonna like compete. At the Rage Bait Olympics. Watch out, Neko. Your gold medal's in danger. Oh, okay, right. Now let me shut the fuck up. Oh, actually, hold on. You know, see, just to make things visually interesting, where is uh oh, there it is, right there. Yeah, the goddamn vote channel. Cause yeah, we can probably like I don't know, just so we have something in the background to stare at while I like yap about games. So I don't know. What the fuck did I yap about first? You know, I've been waving Sonic around quite a bit, so let's find uh, one of my funny Sonic racing like crossworld stream. Oh, I know that's like super old. That is. Uh, oh yeah, this one, this repo stream had some Sonic racing at the end of it. Uh, God, such a good game. Right, slight spoilers, I guess. I know he's rage baiting me, but I just can't prove it. Oh boy. But yeah, let me. That's right, class of '09 food. Yeah. But yeah. Oh, why is the video not running that well? Weird. Um. But anyway, you know that aside. Uh So Sonic Racing Crossworld, right? This was a game after I played the like demo, like open beta of it. It really did catch my interest because you know I've played my fair share of like Sonic Racing games in the past. You know, the Rider games, you know, and even like the other like Sonic and Sega All Stars Racing, and you know Team Sonic Racing, which I don't know, like they were all right games, and you know Team Sonic Racing it had some good ideas, but it was kind of like kind of but it was all right. So I kind of just had this expectation of like it's gonna be an okay racing game, right? And I don't talk about racing games a lot here, but it is a genre I like. Especially kart racers. I remember with old friend groups we used to have like a lot of Mario Kart nights. Love Crash Team Racing to death. Literally, I'm a speedrunner of the game, or used to be. I kind of fell off. I need to get back on that grind set for that game if I want to speedrun it again, honestly. Uh, we have to keep in mind that this is Unleashed being forced into legend lobbies because of me. Yeah, but like, okay, I'm not even gonna count that as like anything major, because I played. I did a few. Actually, let me scroll over. Um, because I did like see, it's just like it's weird seeing like my model twice or whatever. Okay, there's just a me menacingly like behind me, but because I did my fair share of like online races without you to not be in legend lobbies, especially when I was trying to catch up to you to join the legend only room, and yeah, so I've got a variety of mix, various opponents. And I think I can definitely make a fair judgment call on the game. And yeah, where the fuck was I? So it's really fucking good. Uh, Now my bias says I don't know if I could call this better than Crash Team Racing, like Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, especially the remake. But I've thought about it, and if you're a racing game that gets me to think that you might be better than Crash Team Racing, then you are kind of like smoking something. Also, it is really well balanced. There is no or very few like meta builds that stand out and would give you like a major advantage. I think I talked about this with Nino as well. How stuff like bagging builds that which are usually like the worst, scummiest thing and kind of OP. Yeah, if you play a bagging build in this game, you just kind of get fucked. And I love that, honestly. Like, there's so much variety you can do with the builds, and the fact you can add these skills for different builds while you race is honestly a unique but really interesting idea, and it adds so much to it. The drifting system feels so good to do and so fluid. And also, I don't even think, at least I wouldn't say, there's like a best like racing class type. Because, like, yeah, sure, I think, like, drift and speed are kind of good. They're all generally kind of good in racing games like this. But, like, as you can see here, I'm playing Omega, right? I've fucked with power. I think power characters and power builds are really good. And I've heard good things about, like, acceleration as well. So, it's a pretty well balanced game from what I've experienced and what I know of the game. Very fun, good track design, a great soundtrack. I know stuff like especially like like cyberspace, white space, and even some other tracks. Just really great OST for a racing game. It's I always wanted to say it's peak, but it feels weird to say, especially with peak being on this list. But it is so really good. I have very few complaints because like the connection is mostly good, but sometimes a bit iffy. And don't even get me started on the collab. And right, this game gave out so much good shit as like free DLC. Like the fact that we just get like Yakuza, Hatsune Miku, Persona. And it's like, yeah, it does kind of suck that no voice lines. That's like one of the few complaints I do have. But like, the characters are there, and that's good. And we're getting so much more like later on. Like the fact we're getting Knights and IDW Sonic characters is insane, and I love that. Quick recovery. Yeah, I did hear that quick recovery got blocked. Okay, so quick recovery might be maybe like a top tier thing, but overall, I still think it's a really good game, right? I'm very happy with the state of it. Uh, gonna go take a little nap. Oh yeah, no problems, Dave. If you're still here, yeah, you go rest up well. And same for anyone who came from the raid. If you need to go take a break, take a rest, feel free to. Do not feel free to sit around watching my yapping ass. Yeah, Miku, Joker, Ichiban, Knights, IDW characters, all for yeah. The emphasis that they are all free, like, and the DLC is pretty nice as well if you go for it. Like, like we're getting like Minecraft, Ninja Turtle stuff like that, even Avatar. It's a really strong roster, and the tracks are nice. Like, track design is really good. It's one thing I love that this game actually does is you don't get the repetitiveness of most other racing games of like, oh yeah, you do your 3 laps. Because you do your first lap, and that's like things are normal. Then you go into lap two, but not really, because crossworld you're gonna do a lap on a different track or a crossworld track, which is like an A to B point. So you'll do that for your like quote unquote second lap, and then you teleport back to the race for your third lap. But something wacky will happen in the race, so we'll change or transform in a way, and then it makes things exciting. Now, not all tracks are equal. Like the Goddamn, like Rainbow Garden only has like one fence that opens up. Meanwhile, you go to like White Space and Devil Doom's like fucking up the track. He's like, hey, how can I make this about Radical Highway for the 1 millionth time? So yeah, enjoy going to Radical Highway without being in Radical Highway. Great time. But yeah, really good. And you know what? Honestly, I do all my yapping, and I'm not fully sure where I'm actually putting this game. This is Hold on, I need to like readjust things again. This may get a smidge around. But yeah, I'm not fully sure. This is definitely A tier at the lowest. But honestly, I'm liking the game a lot, and I'm still gonna play a lot of the game. One beef I do have is it is a game with a stupidly high price tag, but I was lucky enough to get a key that got me the game on a 30% off sale, so hee hee, kind of funny. And it's like, it might be. It might be Esther, for now I want to actually put in Esther and say I was very, very happy with the game. Uh, it ain't beating Crash Team Racing, but if I'm calling you the second best racing game that I've ever played, you've definitely done something right. Because I'll tell you something, watch out, I've played a lot of racing games, and this was a really good one. Uh, you know what? Yeah, I guess if I say, like, do we judge? I don't know. I would think more about if I went to judge the price tag in it, but yeah, the price versus the content could actually be a thing that hurts it, because a lot of these other games, like, I know there's one or two other games I'm going to be putting in S tier that definitely give you a lot of content for a much, much cheaper price. Um, but we'll see, kinda like, when I put other games in the list, we'll compare and contrast, and we'll kind of feel it out, go from there. Now you know what? Hold on. What else? I feel I should be doing this in like a chronological order, but I don't remember the exact order I played everything. But yeah, let's see like something else, something that I don't have the same opinion of Sonic, and so I can get all bipolar up in here. Let's see. You know what? Actually, I don't know. It's just because like Timeless and Or have been hanging around. You know what? I think I'm gonna talk about Night Rain next. Cause I won't lie. I don't fully know. I would say go check, but I forgot Twitch deletes was. Yeah, see, this is why. See, this is why I have the VOD channel on. Blood offering. Timeless. Is this blood offering trying to get me to like butter me up for the Night Rain opinion? Cause I mean, I want to say it won't work, but I don't know, man. Sure, we'll just grab this one. Oh dear God, what the fuck was wrong with us? We had like 20 minutes of yapping before we played the game. Bad stream, 0 out of 10. Um, yeah, but let me just yeah, we'll just do a little shimmy like that. So, Night Rain. Now, this is where I give the kind of legal. Played that game with you and shit. We went on a 5 game win streak. Was absolute, dude. That's honestly been like one of my favourite sessions like ever of that game, the one where we went on the huge win streak. Like, that was a win streak that included us going against Everdorks as well. I love that shit so much. Got a bit boring for me, so more no than yes. Oh, how interesting, because I'm going to vaguely touch on a thing like that. Now, I'm going to put two disclaimers up for my opinion of this game. The first thing is, like, I wouldn't call myself the biggest FromSoft fan. I absolutely love Bloodborne. I was yapping earlier how it's like one of my favourite games ever. But like I don't know. I played the base Elden Ring, never finished it, and I don't know. Uh, I have very very mixed opinions on Elden Ring. I don't know if it's like my kind of thing. I didn't quite click with me as well as it clicked with like other people, because I know it's a very beloved game. Don't get me wrong. And then also, I guess my FromSoft experience, there is also Dark Souls 3, which I only recently picked up. So far, I have absolutely been loving Dark Souls 3, but it is on the tier list. I risk spoilers for my opinion of that game, but I don't know. And the second thing is no DLC, right? This is just talking about base Night Rain with its little updates of the other Darks, and not really counting the DLC that's recently been added, which I'll acknowledge its existence, because one of my points, well, the DLC is obviously going to have relevance. But yeah, so Night Rain was an interesting one. It was one that I definitely had my eye on, despite not being the biggest Elden Ring fan, because obviously it's like, hey, it's got these like roguelike elements to it. It's a much more faster paced game. And that was something that did catch my interest. And it is something I do like. It's a good gameplay loop that works. But the thing is, and kind of like what Taylor said, Night Rain was a game that I played it. I played it, thanks to Shima, like, carrying mass, went through, beat all the Night Lords, and then, like, I put the game down. I kind of lost interest with it. I did pick it up again eventually for the other Dorks, but it was kind of like, oh, I pick it up, I fight another door that I need to do, and then I would put the game, like, back down again. The only time I kind of broke out of this, like, pattern was when it was I think after I beat like all the other Darts of Shima, I was looking at my achievement list, and I saw that I was almost done 100% in like this game's achievements, and I remember thinking, I'm like, okay, currently on Steam I've only 100%ed Vampire Mansion because of like the bet I made with Nep, silly titty game. And I kind of was like, I would like one proper game to be 100%ed on my Steam. And I'm like, why not? I will put myself through Night Rain, get the achievements, and do that. And obviously, that was easy to do, right? Because for those of you that don't know Shima and Noir, right, the two of them, much bigger FromSoft fans than I am, and those two absolutely fucking love Night Rain. They play so much of it. Like they know. I swear those two know this game like inside and out. It's honestly insane how well they know this game. It kind of scares me a little bit. But yeah, they definitely helped with the achievement hunting. They were more than happy to help with that. And I won't lie, like it literally like doing it with them like carried the experience, because I was like, oh, there was some tedium, especially trying to get like the do a level run where you end up level 15, and I kept getting cocked out of it. Personal beef aside, but the thing is, it's like it's a game that you know, I got tired of. I didn't really want to commit many hours to it, and you can because you know you can do many runs. Experiment because there's randomization stuff, and also there's the depth of night. Um, yeah, I won't lie. Depth of night really wasn't it for keeping the in. So, and it's like I don't know because it irks me, and you can say, "Oh, that's just how it be." But here's the thing: I like me a good roguelike game that can keep me coming back. Great example: Risk of Rain 2, right? You know, I've done all my main accomplishments of that game, at least for the DLC packs that I've bought. Um, but even when I'm done with Risk of Rain 2, I'll still just boot it up randomly to just play it some more every once in a while. Like, I generally just feel that urge to come back to it. And you know, obviously it has a little unfair advantage. You know, I can mod that game and do whack. So like, oh, I modded Regigigas into the game. I modded Phoenix Wright. Funny enough, actually for the Runa fans, I've got great news for you. I found a mod that adds both the Red Mist and Bina's Arbiter form as characters into Risk 2. So I'm gonna in near future I'm gonna be doing a Risk 2 stream, and I'm gonna put my like Runa flavored propaganda into it. I'm like, hey, look, Runa fans, look at this like cool Runa characters in this game, haha. uh, so yeah, and I love the excuses to play more Risk 2. Like that's the thing. If I have good excuses to play the game more with something new and fresh, I'm absolutely gonna do it. And that's how like Risk 2 ended up becoming one of my like favorite games. Night Rain didn't really have that like oomph to it for me, but I'm kind of slandering Night Rain and I'm sounding mean about it because there is something I haven't talked about Night Rain that I do want to mention because we brought up with Risk 2, and that's characters. I think Night Rain's roster of Nightfarers is really fucking good and solid. I think they're all okay. If you like the playstyle that they bring, they are all good, enjoyable characters. Now, obviously, for me, that doesn't fully click because, like, you know, I'm not a magic guy, so the magic characters, you know, I maybe don't vibe with. Revenant is kind of fun. I do enjoy Revenant, but I'll never find myself enjoying Recluse. But yeah, you know, obviously my two favourites are Raider and Guardian. Raider for the Unga Bunga gameplay. Guardian, I can be a tank. You know, I love my like tanky build gameplay. So love that. Even you know when I was, you know, I even kind of found a wee spot in my undead heart. It's like you know what, Iron Eye with his funny ranged gameplay and debuffing is kind of fun, and you know I found a bit of fun with Executor because his parry windows aren't actually that strict as I thought they would be, and it was kind of fun. You know what? I don't think he's the most fun character. I think like if I had to name top three Night Rain characters, I think Iron Eye would be number three, Guardian would be number two, and then Raider. Right, Raider. He's obviously my the number one in my heart. Great. But like it's such a strong roster. I haven't even played any of the DLC characters. I've seen a little bit of their gameplay, and they also look really good and fun. Um, so I don't know. It's tough because it's like there's good things about it, but there's also things like, oh well, you know, like compared to like Sonic Cross Winners, right? It doesn't inspire that huge amount of replayability, which really leaves it lacking. Like in my eyes, but not like lacking. Like the game itself, it's functional, it's fine, and it is a fun, good game. But I don't know. I want to say B, but there's a part of me that's thinking C. No, not trash. We're not actually gonna rage bait. Like I don't know, B. Maybe just like it's a solid game. John Knight, Rain Raider, everyone else. Damn, you, what a swell guy, putting everyone else in third place. I'm mean and evil, you see, I gotta put Recluse in last. I don't care if she has tits and a lot of people make saucy art of her. That character's pain to play. Oh boy. Actually, speaking of painful, I want to get this out the way, and it's like, maybe. Okay, I don't know what your opinion is of this game, Jones, but maybe we might have contradicting, controversial opinions, and I don't have any gameplay for this. Speaking of being evil and mean, hold on, let me get my meanness out the way, because there is a game on this list that I straight up knew I would have nothing nice to say about. And that is the funny, yeah, kind of newish, upcoming MMO, Blue Protocol Star Resonance. Oh my god, right. So, one of the best things about 2025 was Nep introducing me to the Final Fantasy 14 FC that he was in, which has become one of the greatest friend groups that I've known. Everyone in that group means a lot to me, and it isn't even just for the FF14 shenanigans. We've played a lot of different games. We had lots of vibing group chats, and that group. I ended up getting invited to do tabletop RPG game and stuff. Hence, we've got the D&D and Daggerheart logo here. More on that later. Foreshadowing. Oh boy, I got stories to share. But obviously, so we do our D&D, our tabletop RPG stuff. We play our Final Fantasy 14. Very good, very nice. However, obviously, this funny new free MMO came out, and obviously we thought this would be an interesting idea to go and try out. It's only played it because Sally was. Sometimes foreshadowing is relatively obvious, yeah. I mean, okay, you're part of the group, Jones, so you probably know exactly the kind of shit I'm gonna be saying when I get to the tabletop RPGs. Blue Protocol is one of the biggest fucking snooze fests that I've ever played. And maybe right, I only played the first hour or so of the game and it was new and fresh. But it had a story I could not care about, a really, really boring story that's an absolute nothing burger. And they just throw out the first few levels. They're oh, we're gonna get you into the content fast, get your levels and stuff. And I'm sitting here I have no idea how to prep upgraded equipment or whatnot. They're very vague, they don't explain that well. But I'm okay, I got my gear and stuff. I can do the first dungeons and do the first raid boss. And I swear the first dungeon is fight some enemies by mash button, go up, and then you kill some more, and it's the rules don't even feel like they mean anything. I'm playing a tank and I don't feel like I'm doing any tanking, and I feel I don't need to do any tanking. And the raid boss was even worse because that was just slap a button and he died. Goddamn, even normal Ifrit from FF14 felt more involved, and he is a lame boring boss. If I feel he's more involved, you've done something wrong. So yeah, I'm getting my meanness out the way. Bad game, horrible, hate it. Well, yeah, actually, yeah, I'll be a hater. I hate it. Snooze fest. Got to put that in trash for real. Potentially rage bait Sally. I don't know. Not mean, just you know what? It was the game's fault. Actually, funny thing, right? Here's an opinion piece. Not an opinion piece, an opinion to ask chat. Because I just realised I talked about FF14, and I started playing that game before 2025, so I said it didn't count. but I got into a lot of the expansions around 2025. So I don't know. How would people feel about me like rating the uh expansions that I've played this year in FF14? Still isn't logged on in months either. Omega law. But yeah, like, what would that be like? What, Heavensward all the way through to Endwalker? Like, I don't know if people are gonna care about like that kind of rambling from me, but I could add that on the list if you want. I'll let y'all like answer with that opinion piece if that's the thing you want to hear and think qualifies and counts. Um, is FF on the list? You know what? Yeah, we'll put the. Yeah, I'm gonna be mean. No, not mean. I'm just. I've put muscle memory into saying that now. No, we're just gonna like. What we're gonna do is. Well, we're gonna do it by expansion. Just so I have excuses to like talk about the story and the content of like the different expansions. Cause I've got varying things to say about a lot of them. Uh, and I think the people who have heard me yap about this before outside the stream, you probably know where some of my opinions are going to go. So yeah, you know, let's get the cool Stormblood image with Xenos on it. Yeah, because I have got a lot to say about these expansions. Oh boy. Because I mean, technically every expansion of this kit is its own game anyway. It's definitely got enough content to count, I think. I have started Dawn Trail, but because I've not finished it yet, we're not gonna count Dawn Trail. We're gonna exclude it. Also, I'm excluding A Realm Reborn. Because I started that last year. But if you want my opinions on that, unofficially, I guess, very, very mediocre experience. Like the story is like generic. It's like literally like have you played any RPG in like the last like 20 years? Uh, yeah, you probably know like every story beat. FF14 is gonna try and pull in a Realm Reborn, and you ain't getting fucking wowed by it. Shadowbringers logo. Hold on, Stormblood there, and Heavensward there. I skipped cutscene reborn. Damn right. You know, like honestly, the fact that you could actually like skip most of a Realm Reborn and yeah, you know, with a basic plot synopsis, probably get caught up to speed. Yeah. Um. Oh man, you know, I mean, I've started talking about it. We might as well go through the FF games. So like, ah man, so Heavensward is the tricky one. Because this is the one that I definitely have like the most split opinions on. Because I'm not gonna lie, a Realm Reborn ends off pretty good when it leads into Heavensward. You know, you have the you're accused of like treason. You have to flee. You go to Ishcord thanks to connections made. And it ain't a welcoming place, right? The tone, oh, the tone and atmosphere at the start, they nailed it. They nailed it. I loved it. Strong start. Then obviously as the MSQ does, it kinda, it kinda has some pacing issues. Um, eh, but the story is overall pretty good, I would say. And then it picks up towards the end. Like towards the end when you're really getting into the meat and potatoes of dealing with Archbishop Thornton the Heavens Word. That's good. That picks up great. Loved it. And then you get to Dragon Song War arc, and Dragon Song War arc is a very, very fucking solid arc, just like all the way through. It is definitely the first moment where I was like fully invested in FF14's story, and I was like, I kind of just zoomed through. I probably wouldn't zoom through as much until like maybe Shadowbringers, and especially Endwalker. I know a few people brought up how I go through this steady, sometimes kind of a slow pace. Playing catch up in FF14, and then I just fucking zoomed through Endwalker. It was like blink and he's done. Kind of spoilers for my Endwalker opinion, I guess, but we'll get to it. And actually, hold on, what the fuck am I doing? I actually streamed some Hemsworth stuff so we can get the footage up. Uh, I think this was like when I started doing like more and more stuff. Because hold on, is this? Oh, that's a daily relay. That's goddamn Titan I see there. Oh, good old the vault. Wait, who did the vault with me? Neps and it. Turn Lizica. Oh god, that's an odd trio you don't usually see. Also, goddamn right. Remember when Nep wasn't like super busy and had the FF14 and it provided all his like all round good need. Oh, so oh my god. It's really old footage when I was still main and warrior back in the day. Oh wow, that's a blast from the past. Let me do my scroll over. Oh well, actually no, the vote's actually a good example for some of the stuff I want to bring up. I miss Nate in sprint, or oh yeah, I was in sprint. I miss Nate. Sometimes I still think he's worth it. Sometimes I still hear his voice. Rip Nip, he was a real one. Now he's dead, but not really. But yeah, so yeah, story, has its like drawn out parts, but gets good. Now, the dungeons, this is where I have some opinions, because obviously people have talked to me about the history of Final Fantasy 14. Some of the like longer remaining players explained the dungeon design, and it's like okay, it was very lame and boring at the start of a Realm Reborn, and then you get to like post Realm Reborn content level 50, um, and I don't know if I would call it good, because it's like okay, they're very wide open, and it's like as a tank this is exciting, right? Because if your healer is up to the task, you can just wall to wall like a million things, and it's just a crazy sprint, and it's generally a good time. But then obviously in Heavensward they started changing that, and I'm not a fan of it, because a lot of Heavensward dungeons definitely have the design of do one room, maybe pull a second group if you're lucky. And then that's it. You gotta like fight one, maybe two groups at a time. You don't get to do wall to wall. In fact, actually, see if I can go back to like the beginning of the vault. I'm showing this off deliberately because the vault I think is the most egregious example of this. Like I don't care if this has the emotional cutscene at the end. I don't care if it's like it has a good design. I'll give it that. But like no, because you see this shit right. You start off right. You're pulling the first group. This was back when I was kind of like sloppy with my like pulling as a tank. Oh god, I can't stand looking at it. It was so bad. And yeah, you'll see, like, you go down the hallway and the gates are locked, so you just gotta say tough titties and deal with fighting that group. And then you move on, and it's like, okay, here's group number two, but there's a locked gate ahead, so yeah, like, you see me trying to walk towards, and I'm like, maybe I can run it. No. Uh, I'm so glad this was a design philosophy that got dropped because I hated it so, so much. Mount Gold best dungeon in the game. Oh, you know what? Maybe one day I do like a dungeon tier list. Mount Gold is really. I don't know if I would call it my favorite, but it's really fucking good. The goddamn jump scare at the start is nefarious though, but I love it. God, you know this probably was back in the day when I didn't use arm's length. Cause here's the thing, yeah, yeah, I don't even see arm's length on my toolbar or hotbar. Sorry, uh, that's honestly fucking criminal. Oh god, it's so bad and cringe. I've definitely improved as a tank. Um, oh man. But you know, I ramble on about the dungeon design, how it's bad, how I hate it. It got better towards like post shadow because I think like some of the last Heavensward dungeons they do kind of like get a bit lenient on that. But obviously dungeons aren't everything because you have the bosses as well, and this is like really funny actually. Because actually we can actually go to my channel itself for this because I did a whole video on this. Heavensward bosses and their EX trials. God, this was a fun video to make. Because you know this year I've definitely been. I guess to go back to like general talk, I feel like this year I've definitely like locked in with trying to make like better, more in depth videos. Um, yeah, cause like we have not done a lot this year, but I don't know. Let me scroll down. Um, like what have we got? Like 20. Oh god, that's 2024 even. Oh god, when does? Yeah, so like 2025 probably would have been what the lore video I want to say. Uh, oh wait, no, that was back in 2024. So yeah, I really barely made anything. Uh, oh wait, no, there's the 2024 montage. So that would be the clue. Oh god, I really made barely anything this year. Um, but like yeah, you can see 2024. I made like well one, two. I don't want to say three because like the chained together an Uno video I locked in on editing. Valve wrote Taurus DLC video was tiny. The Go to Fuck to Sleep was made like super easily. And dare I say that this Lobcorp video was like really easy to make. It wasn't as in depth as like a lot of other stuff I made. And then obviously you can see 2025 begins and it's just super basic, like short highlight monthly videos. It was nice and Fury. Oh cool, I was just being blind. But yeah, so after March I kinda got sick of doing the monthly highlights because I just didn't feel the creative spark coming from them because they were just so sloppily made and I'm like, fuck it, I'm dropping it. We're not gonna get consistent content out, but I want to like create bigger stuff that I'm gonna feel more proud of. And you know, dare I say, I think everything I created this year, I can look back and say that I'm proud of. Obviously, you know, I thought the first big one I should do was a video I had planned for a long time. The story covering, yeah, you know, the start of the vampire rebrand and you know, my bet with Net where I ended up having to complete it. Also, it's like I can make a joke about big titties and do like the free clickbait. I know I am I have no shame. Right, I did what I did, didn't even feel bad about it. And then, obviously, the next one uh, was, oh yeah, so I guess I can share the story time of how I met, like, Suya's group. Because Suya was a viewer of mine. I say was, he still is. Um, and yet Suya, he watched my Final Fantasy 14 streams, and he was nice enough. He came up and us and he's like, "Hey, look, see your attack main, see you're like going through your game learning, and you're doing Heaven's Word." And he asked, "Would you be interested in helping do EX trials? Cause we're kind of short, guy. We could do with an extra tank player." Uh, and I was like, "Yeah, sure." And we eventually did like so many EX trials in Heaven's Word. Like the first one, because they had already done Ravana and Bismarck, and I went back and did those in my own time. Which Bismarck kind of lame and Ravana cool but really easy. So I jumped in with them with doing King Thornton, and God, that is a meaty ass extreme for how early in the game it is. Obviously, it's not too bad like nowadays, compared to like everything else. But God, what, like the I mean, I feel the title like portrays my feelings accurately. I really did feel like I was popping the tank and cherry. And also, yeah, me. Oh yeah, that's goddamn clip. Me forgetting to turn the boss around and watching him like cleave the party. Yeah, I was very silly, and debatably, I still am very silly. But yeah, this. Shut the fuck up. Yeah. Oh, it would have been funny if there was actually a pick during the party. But yeah, this is like a learning experience and having, I'm so thankful the group was like as patient as they were with me. And then obviously we would do the whole Warren Triad Extreme and Nidhogg Extreme. In fact, Nidhogg EX we actually did on stream, like start to finish, the whole prog. And I really, really like it. These are all like very solidly designed fights. Like the only EX fight in Heaven's Word I can bash is Bismarck, and that's it. And then you've got the raid, Alexander. And I've ranted about this before. I think because a lot of people hate Alexander, they talk shit on it, and I think it's definitely an overhated raid series. I think its fights are generally quite well designed. There are some problematic ones. A2S is. Oh, yeah. The normal raids are all fine. But Savage, right, is what I'm talking about. And A2S is easy and boring for a Savage because it's just a glorified mob clearing wave. A4S is a fight I hate. It can go fuck itself. And I'm starting to feel that way about Brute Justice Savage as well, because that is taken us like how many months to prog and we're still working on it. But that's just because like it's really tiny. It's like you can't PF that shit. You need a dedicated group for Brute Justice. I don't think it's an awful fight, but it's some of the mechanics and the way they do things is messy, to say the least. But overall, I would say Heaven's Word delivers like a pretty like good, strong, solid enough experience as is. But where exactly do I put it? I don't know, because like the story bits that slog, like they're quite prevalent. Maybe like above Night Rain, but in B. I don't know. A part of me does want to say A, but I don't know. Some of the other stuff I've got in mind for A, I think is better than Heaven's Word. But yeah, damn it, I yapped a lot about Heaven's Word. Uh, Now on to Stormblood, which I also kind of have split thoughts on, but my thoughts on Stormblood are a lot clearer. I know exactly how I feel about it. Hold on. So we'll go for funny the EX one because god damn I love it. Like I can kind of like sugarcoat things and remember the stronger parts. Keep in mind I've got some really nice things to say about it because Stormblood, it's a bit of a yikes, right? Because like, how do I say this nicely? Xenos, yes, Xenos exists in Stormblood, but let's take it one step at a time, as we did with Heaven's Word. So I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Stormblood's writing as shit. I literally the only time that I cared about Stormblood's story was pretty much whenever Xenos was on screen. Xenos. Now, I know there's a lot of controversial about Xenos and Stormblood, whether he's a good antagonist or not. I think in Stormblood, and keep in mind, right, I want to emphasize this, in Stormblood, I think you could debate if Xenos is a good villain, quote unquote, but he is definitely a fun antagonist. It's very fun to see Xenos on screen, and I think that in turn it makes him good, right? They're very honest about what he is, like battle hungry samurai dude that conquered the Doma. Bit simple, nothing too crazy, but it's like it is the delivery of like every voice line and just the way he acts. It puts him a cut above being like some generic antagonist. But besides that, I hated it. Like, dare I say I probably disliked it more than A Realm Reborn. Maybe, I don't know. Because I could have maybe been nice and say, well, at least I wasn't bored during Stormblood. I was just upset and angry. Poop scooping expansion, yeah. However, there is good things to say about Stormblood because this is where dungeon design started getting like much better. And I don't know, it's kind of rough because I can't think of any great standout dungeons from Stormblood. That's more a Shadowbringers Endwalker kind of thing. But we have the extreme trials. Also, too much standing out. Let's get some like action I can show off because oh boy, you had the Omega raids, which I haven't done the Savages of yet, but they are great good fights. And oh, clearly I did not know the mechanic here, but all part of Progan, and the extremes. I don't know. They're good, right? But a lot of them were really easy because, like, in this one, right, I want to show off, like, okay, Shinryu, right, we started progging Shinryu like 2 minutes into the stream, and then we go on, we go on, we go on. An hour and a half, right? So we took an hour and a half to prog and do Shinryu, a good few attempts. Susanoo, I remember specifically, only took us like 2 attempts, like, what, 135, 20 minutes, right? Pretty much like a little in and out of Susanoo, really easy. Blind progging, by the way, I want to like emphasize that these were done blind. I think like maybe some of others knew stuff and just didn't share, but like I was going in blind and I'm a tank, so guy with like the personal. And then Lakshmi we beat without knowing what the fuck we were doing in one attempt. Lakshmi was like piss easy. And it's like, I don't know, but then you get to the Four Lords, which I like Byakko, right? Byaku's a good fight. They're all good fights. Seiryu definitely on the easier end. It's like, yeah, Suzaku and Byakko were good, alright fights. And, Tsukuyomi, after only just learning her via the Unreal, yeah, that's pretty good. But then you've got Shinryu, right? Shinryu Extreme to this day is still currently like my favourite extreme in the game, but I haven't done the Shadowbringer extremes, and I've got a lot of undone Endwalker extremes to do. I've only done Golbez. Also, Dawn Trail Extremes or something that need to be done, but I don't know. Shinryu alone, like if I was doing like a rate the fight Final Fantasy 14, Shinryu would be going very, very high up on the list. Eh, but I don't know. But then the question is, does a few good bosses make up for like the rest of the expansion sin of just okay dungeons and really bad story? I don't know. Because I'm still looking down on it as an expansion overall. But it's like, you got some good in you, so I can't put you in the same tier as Blue Protocol. Right, and then, well, okay, I don't have stream footage for these two, so I don't know, I enjoy more Shinra EX footage, I guess. Um, like, I don't know, you know what, let's skip ahead a wee bit to when we're actually in the fight, show some cooler stuff, maybe. Uh, so Shadowbringers, wow. Shadowbringers fucking kicked up the writing quality so much. Uh, and I say this is like a long time Final Fantasy fan who's played a lot of the games. Emmett Selk, I would say, is probably one of my favourite Final Fantasy antagonists like ever. Like in the whole series, bar none. Easy. Uh very strongly written character. You took this group, the Asians, that I did not care about from A Realm Reborn, and you actually made them really interesting and sympathetic. Dungeon design is great. It takes what was working with Stormblood and only improves upon it. Hell, even its first dungeon, like Home Minister Switch, I feel is a very strong standout dungeon with good. It's just a good dungeon design and good like lore attached to it as well. And you know the like when you get to Amarot, like oh, it goes all out. Post Shadowbringers as well, with Elidibus, also really good. I've only done the normals of their raids, not done the extremes yet, but okay, lie, I've done one extreme because I got to do Emerald Weapon extreme. But yeah, I can only imagine it, and it's like, I imagine it must be good. I'm really excited to do more. Honestly, like, great bosses, great dungeons, great writing. I'm not going into it as much or a lot, but maybe because I don't want to bore people with an overly long amount of Final Fantasy talk for those who don't care about it. But it's S tier, and you know what? Fucking spoilers. The same goes for Endwalker. I can't even tell you which one goes above what though. In fact, you know, I'm gonna put Endwalker a little bit higher actually, because Shadowbringers were really good. There were some moments where it's like, okay, the pace slows down, you can feel it. Only in a few minor bits, and especially like the start post Shadowbringers was slow. Endwalker, it has a slow start. Charlene, kind of a sluggish, slow area, but after that, it's like peak after peak after peak. It's so good. Absolutely deserves to be an S tier. Everything. Like, dungeons are great, you know. It feels good to all them, you know. You really get to make use of your tank and was it this late game, same with healers as well. I'm sure they're like locking in for healing. Great story. The bosses are all fantastic and good to do. Even like by this point in the game, normal raids are starting to actually put up a decent fight. Like, shit is invested, especially post Endwalker. Oh my god, I got thrown for a loop so many times. When I was seeing like the shit that like the normals were thrown out. Oh, it has me excited for doing more Endwalker extremes. Because like I remember we had to absolutely lock in to do Gobez extreme, and that was a good time. That was a good time all around. I loved that. So yeah, that is the Final Fantasy 14 thoughts so far. Oh boy, I need to like catch my breath after that. Right, well, uh, where do we go next? You know what? Actually, another game I really want to talk about in the list that I'm just seeing, and also something we can show footage for. I want to talk about Still Wakes the Deep, right? Because it was a very, very short game I played during Halloween, funny enough. Oh no! Oh my god, I missed clicking, I deleted the list. Shit. Um. Oh fuck, we got to like remake the list now. Oh fuck me. Oh, I can't believe I misclicked like that. Oh, anyway, oh, anyway, sorry, where was I? Oh yes, I wanted to talk about Still Wakes the Deep. Cause it was a short game we played in October. Cause you know October obviously spooky month. We played a lot of variety horror games, and it was one I picked up because I'm like, okay. A lot of people recommended it to me. Because it was like based in Scotland. You know, it was written by Scottish people, Scottish voice acting cast, based in Scotland. Like everything about it's Scottish. Some people were like, you're Scottish and it's a Scottish game. You should play it." But then you know there was people like Light who recommended it to me, but said like, "Oh yeah, it's more than just like the Scottish game." She definitely thought it would be enjoyable to see me play, and you know, see a Scottish person play the Scottish horror game. So that I went into the game blind, right? That's all I knew about it, and then I kind of got a bit of interest when I saw the Lovecraftian horror tag, because you know, surprise, surprise, from a guy who loves Bloodborne, that yeah, I fucking love Lovecraftian horror. And oh yeah, it definitely delivered on the Lovecraftian horror vibes. It was, I don't know, the game overall, like it's pretty simple. The story isn't anything like super out of this world, I would say, but it did like I won't lie, it got me in the feels towards the end. You know, you're walking, like surviving, quite basic. As a horror game, you know, didn't really get spooked by it. Like the enemies are quite easy to work your way around as well. It's quite, I mean, maybe not fully like exploitable, but simple enough. Um, but it definitely, like, you could tell the writers were definitely going full on the Scottish vibes and not like sugarcoating for anyone, because it it's so accurate. Like I could tell easily without knowing it was written by Scottish people. I was like, yeah, either people had researched Scotland really well, or it was written by Scottish people, because like it, it just hit the beats so well, so right. And it's like, I don't know, because it's kind of that weird one that I like it, and it had a really really strong ending. But also it's like the puzzle solving's light, the horror's quite light. Um, Even though like it's graphic, it's quite rough seeing the transformation of the crew members when they get infected, and there is like that lingering mystery. And it's one of those ones where it's like I would love to like rate it higher. I would love to go uh full Scottish like bias. Hold on, I was just like checking yet. Oh wait, Shadowbringers. On Sonic. Yeah, there we go. I think that's us back caught up. But yeah, it's. Oh wait, new best in T5 Riddler 635 cut from last week. Damn. Oh, but congrats on that like tier 5. Also, thank you for the hydrate. Sorry, I've been yapping so long. Oh, but yeah, I don't know. It was a very good, pleasant time, and you know, a quick, digestible game. Uh, I don't know. It's one of those ones that I would love to be biased and just put it like up here. Be like, yo, Scotland. But I'm a be real. Overall, I think it was like it's good. Uh, mm, I'm being mean tonight, Rain. Sorry. Uh, Actually, I'm gonna be mean to Heavensward, so I have to be a little Scottish bias and put it like at the top of B tier, because like I think B tier is where like good, pretty solid games belong. Because kind of like Night Rain, it's like I don't really see any major reason to revisit Still Wakes Deep. I consumed it, I played it, it's done. Um, but God, for the short time I did have playing that, it was a very good, solid experience. Like I was left very happy. Uh, and you know what? Actually, I guess to get back into the reminiscent vibes of uh, yeah. While we're on the topic of horror, this was definitely the year. You can probably see here. This was definitely a year where I started to tapping into streaming like a lot more horror games. Because I wanted to kind of capture the, I don't know, right? So creative thought process, right? Because I go along stream and do whatever I want, and it's good. But I eventually reached the point of I wanted to, put a bit more polish and lock in a bit more with streaming. Because the one thing you hear a lot about people with content creation is you can do whatever you want, but if you want to experience growth, in this field, variety, you're gonna sink. You need to start growing from a niche. And I remember like thinking about it because I was like, oh, I go around it just I can't like lock myself into one thing. Um, and then obviously, uh, you know, uh, I started to find quite a bit of a lot of attention came to me through playing Project Moon games. There was a bit from LobCorp, but it really kicked off when I started playing Limbus Company. And it's like it was a bit last year, but also like this year especially. Um, I don't know if I can factually prove it, but I definitely feel like a majority, if not most of the growth, came from people finding me through Runa and Limbus Company. So I'm like, okay, it is clear that Project Moon games are the kind of niche and the core for my growth. But I also thought about it and I'm like, I don't want to fully dedicate myself to being solely a Project Moon content creator, right? Because Love Corp I'm already done with. I haven't beaten the game, but I don't have the motivation to get the true ending. Maybe we go back, we get a normal ending, do a little bit of a revisit to Love Corp. That's possible, but we wouldn't be doing it a whole lot more. You're not going to see a huge amount of Love Corp from me, likely. And in Limbus Company, right? I do love this game. But here's the thing with Limbus Company and creating content for it. It's rough. Cause I'll do it, I'll go through and I play through a new Canto or Intervallo whenever it comes out. And that's great. Have no problem with that. Dedicating myself to it. I did it here or there with the earlier Cantos, and then starting from Canto 4. I became more locked into it. Just to cover more and more. And we'll have a good time, we'll love them. But then obviously I thought about it and I was like, well, it's like, well, if I'm gonna keep this up, like, what do I do after Cantos, right? Because the only other thing is like Mirror Dungeon, really. Because, Limbus Company is a pretty neat game in that it doesn't ask like a lot for your time, pretty much you go, you do like the weekly Mirror Dungeon and you're pretty much all nice and set after that. It's great. But I don't know, like I thought about it and like using this example here because this is from a stream where I streamed the Mirror Dungeon. Like it's aight, but considering Mirror Dungeon is just a weekly grinding, you're mostly just win rating and button mashing your way through. I didn't think that it really made for interesting content. I couldn't see myself in good conscience doing Mirror Dungeon streams like frequently and it being like actually good and entertaining. So that's why that's not really a thing. It's funny I say that, but I really do need to like lock in because I haven't done the Railway One stream yet, but that's because I want to make it interesting by doing a challenge run. Viewers suggested, I know Kid was one of the people who suggested the idea of do Railway One, but with no 3-star characters. And I thought that was pretty good. I wanted to actually build a nice budget teams, but I find the time to like level them all up. Oh boy. But yeah, so there's that. And then there's also the fact of Library of Runa, which we'll get into Library a little bit later. In fact, that'll probably be the next game I talk about for the tier list, which is a very good game, and I've loved it. But once I'm done with Library, I'll probably do a little mod here or there, and then probably not do much else, honestly, after doing some of the modded receptions. Because I know I've heard people talk about, was it the Library of Babel mod, where it's the entire game, you play it again, from a new file, but it's in a newer, much harder difficulty. And at first I was interested about it. I'm like, okay, that sounds pretty cool actually. And then I saw it, and I was like, this doesn't look fun at all. This looks like it's like the Kaiser shit. Someone just looks like they're making a really hard challenge mode just for the sake of it, and I hate it. To give an idea for people who know Runa, here's a great example. So mid game sweeper fight, right? Sweepers are buffed with more bleeding and self healing, and also rupture. They can rupture you and deal with that extra bonus fixed damage now. Also, their endurance passive, you know how they get to endure and they survive with like half HP, they have like about like what? Like 70 HP or something, so they get back at 35 HP, oh that's rough, that's mean, that's nasty. Yeah, they have about 400 HP now. That's how much HP they get buffed up to, which means they revive with 200 fucking HP with their endurance, and the fight is as long as it normally is with multiple waves. And if that is a mid-game fight, and that's how you have designed that with your fucking buffs, that is awful design. That just seems painful and tedious as shit. Nothing else looks just as good because everyone else looks like they're overly cracked to an unfun extent, and I'm like, yeah, I don't care what the sweaty elitist people say. It does not look fun at all. I am not fucking touching that mod at all. So, nah. I'm not going to be that dedicated to it. And then with all this put together, it's like, okay, so I can do my fair share of stream Project Moon, but it's definitely going to end soon. Dare I say, it ain't lasting past 2026. Except for, doing the Olympus Company updates when it comes out, which is fine. And it started like freaking out, and I'm like, oh shit. I don't got a niche. I want to try and lock down into some, but I've not got anything to do. And then, I was looking and thinking of different things, and it's like, well, I like a lot of dark themed stuff, and I played the odd horror here and there. Also, hey, Vampire VTuber, that kind of fits horror. And then I'm like, horror, could I, maybe? And that's why you've seen a lot more horror / horror themed stuff over the last few months, is because I started experimenting with that. And as much as I hate to be Mr. Focus on Views guy, I did start doing it. Because for those of you who don't know, in the past, I have worked professionally as a media assistant doing data analysis. And so I kind of put that to good use, and I started seeing some patterns, and I'm like, okay. So I had averages. Sometimes I like completely flop, and on a rare occasion I can go above my average. And I'm like, okay, interesting thing. Whenever I do horror, it never flops. In fact, often it goes above the average. Project Moon games always go above the average, but some other horror games do share it. and I was like, interesting. Could I like do the horror streaming and do a bit of variety here and there. Obviously, I don't want to completely lock into it because I want to do my community stuff like Monster Hunter and the fighting games. But I'm like, mostly horror, maybe interesting. And so far, I think I would say it's been a good idea. Maybe I'll organise some stuff better. We're gonna look into it more. We'll see. What's up, Elise? Yo, hey, Vice, welcome in. Yeah, not much. We're going through a sort of like 2025 like reminiscent sort of stream, looking back on everything. I'm being like weird and funny about it because what I'm basically doing is I'm doing a tier list of like every game I played this year and rating it, but I'm finding excuses to weave in like emotional, impactful like life moments from 2025. Weaving the story in the game. And right now I was talking about how, over the last few months you know, trying to find a bit of stream identity and a niche for myself. I'm talking about my, gradual evolution into, doing a lot more, like, horror games, which I did, and then obviously that led us to, like, the biggest event of the year. Yeah, I definitely think I can call this the biggest event of the year, which was, joining the group V3. Because that was an interesting one. Because I remember when I originally, no, so let's go, yeah, thanks. Also, I probably don't need to do this, but while I'm remembering, let me slap in a shout out. But yeah, where was it? Oh yeah, so yeah, V3. I think yeah. So I can talk about this because you might be wondering. Oh god, the goddamn like repeating layers. But yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna talk a bit about how I first found V3 and how that happened. So I think it was like I want to say around September, mid September, right? I found like a random post that came to me randomly on Twitter that was a VTuber group, an unnamed one, right? I'm gonna leave this unnamed for reasons you'll see. A VTuber group that was like looking for members to join in. It was a horror themed one, and I'm like, hey, I've been going down the horror rabbit hole. I might be a good fit for this VTuber group. So I looked into joining it, and when I looked into it, I started seeing some red flags, like immediately, like off the bat. But you know what? Since I'm like talking about something that has nothing to do with on this tier list, let's go back to the good old chatting screen. But yeah, so I kind of got red flags because I looked at the because you go to sign up and they tell you like what they're looking for, like the conditions of joining the group, and this unnamed group, uh right off the bat, they're like, okay, here's what we're looking for. If you want to join our group, you must stream 5 times a week, and you must do a collab with the group, and you must be on our Discord server and be super active every day, talking with the community. If you do not meet these criterias in a single day, you will face termination. And I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't, I didn't, I wasn't really looking for it to be that deep, but okay. And I'm like, oh god, that's I'm kind of getting some not great vibes off that, but I'm gonna like do a little bit more peeking and looking around now before I send my application, and I don't want to do shit talking of a person, but all I'll say is I found the founder's channel, and I'm like, okay, maybe the founder was just a little intense when they were writing their application of what you're looking for the wannabe members. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna watch some footage from the founders stream, and I'm gonna see what kind of person is leading this group. And I mean, I really don't need to go into details about it. All you need to know, chat, is 5 minutes, only about 5 minutes of watching this person, and I was like, I don't like this person. Mm-mm, mm-mm. I didn't vibe with them at all. They had a lot of characteristics and personality traits of how they carry themselves that I just didn't gel with. And I'm like, oh yeah, you and I would not get along at all. Um, yeah, it ain't working out. So I'm like, I'm gonna leave it. It was a silly dream to chase. But then the thought kind of niggled on me. At the back of my mind, I'm like, damn, maybe a VTuber group could have been cool, because I've known a few other people who, like, either they themselves were part of a VTuber group, or they're like, oh, it's a person that knows a person. And well, yeah, a lot of good stories come from it. It's like, yeah, you can carry yourself independently, that works perfectly fine, but there's some good stuff that can come off it. And I was like, man, if the vibes are better, maybe. So I kind of left it. But then I decided to look around, like, maybe there's like another group that I can gel with, I can look and find. And I found nothing. And I'm like, whatever. I'm chasing silly dreams. I can just gotta focus on streaming myself. I don't need a group. Wouldn't you know it? After a week or so of thinking, hey, I don't need a group, I get another random post recommended to me on Twitter, where they're like, hey, so there's this group V-Fright that its founder Hanzo is looking for members. And I'm like, is this another horror group? Maybe. I'm still doing the horror thing. I'm I ain't fine. I'm like, okay, what? One more group. I'll peek at one more group, and we'll see how we feel about it. Now, Hanzo is like, recruitment post of like, his member requirements was so much better, right? Because you look at his, and he's like, hey, we're looking for people to vibe with. Ideally, group stream, but we won't force you to stream with us. Got a community that we're gonna try and build up, and it's like, only strict requirement we ask is like, please consider hanging out around the group. That's all. And I'm like, well, there's no major strict requirements. And he said, like, chat, he said please. He was very polite about it, right? So I'm like, okay, good first step, but let's spy on him and see the vibe. So we go, I saw, obviously he was an ASMR streamer who had played some games. I saw Monster Hunter, and I'm like, okay, fellow Monster Hunter fan, I like he's a silly guy. And I'm like, okay, we might be able to gel. Obviously, it was a another vampire VTuber, but I'm like, okay, we might be able to gel with each other. This might be good. So, I took the application, answered all the answers honestly, and I think it was like a few days after that I got the news when that's like, okay, saw your application, loved it, we're bringing you in for the interview, and we arranged the date for that over Discord. So the interview comes, and we immediately like kick it off really well. I liked Hanzo's questions, because a lot of Hanzo's questions and some of the stuff he was saying kind of made it clear that this is a guy who, he's not really doing the streaming for like the numbers or the fame. This is a guy that, because look, I've been in the creative media for a long time, and you can definitely sniff out when somebody has like the genuine passion versus like clout chasing. And I knew very, very quickly, I'm like, okay, this is a guy with like genuine creative passion. He's doing this for the love of the game, and I love that. And obviously, I think he vibed and gelled with like my answers, and it was quite good. Uh, Also, it was really funny because, during the interview, we were talking because one of the things that obviously came up was like what I stream, and I'm like, yeah, I do stream horror games, and I'm like, I stream dark themed games that aren't horror games. I'm like, hey, I really fucking love Bloodborne. I've I've played the game multiple times. I've streamed it twice now. Might do it again. So there's that. Uh, that was like the best thing I could have done was exposing my Bloodborne love because Hanzo was also a huge Bloodborne fan. So that gave me some bonus points. But obviously, like I didn't get in just because I'm a Bloodborne fan, right? I got in just for various many other reasons. On the stuff that I could bring to a very passionate creative group. And it was good because after the interview, like after the interview, like me and Hazel just spent like a few minutes like after the interview, just like shooting the shit, generally vibing, chatting. And like when then like when the interviews were done, I got in, you got the confirmation, yeah man, and getting to meet the rest of the members is all great, right? Loved my interactions with every other member of that group, and I know I was saying about like all the great groups I've met off, like in 2055, all the collabs we've had, and that is one of my sort of goals for 2026 is I've spent my time with a lot of people in a lot of communities, and there's a lot that are really good, and some are just kind of like, yeah, I appeared there, and then that's that. There's not much like vibing going on, and I feel in trying to be a people pleaser to everyone, I've spread myself too thin, and like, look, I've had a lot of experiences in 2055. Like, I had some rough experiences of some people, that I thought were friends turned out to backstab me and were terrible people. Some people are like clearly just okay, but they're not looking for like that kind of like big like involved friendship. And then there's the other groups, which is like, oh yeah, I kind of found out and get to see who the real ones are. But overall, I'm spreading myself like way too thin, I think, and I'm like, okay, obviously, cut the people I don't like out of my life. I've already done that. People that I'm okay with, but they clearly aren't looking for a major friendship. It's like, I might vibe with them, vibe, say hi time to time, but I'm gonna probably deliberately spend like less time around those places because the people who are very friendly with me and are very clear and passionate about wanting to do stuff with me, I want to stop saying that I'm busy unless I, really am busy with the IRL stuff or other major plans. Because I was like, the people that I'm really vibing with, I want to start making more time for. Because I don't like it. I feel I just spread myself too thin and I'm just not active in some friend groups and communities where I wish I were more active. So that's like one thing I want to fix for 2026. Also, yeah, to go back to Refrain the Horror thing, it's actually really neat because, I kind of left this at a cliffhanger of like Project Men. I probably won't be playing it all that much, and it's like, oh, what do I do after? And it's really funny because I saw, I forget where it was from, there was like a certain channel or a video I saw that covered like, talking about like niches and content. And the way they described it was really great because they were like, oh yeah, it's all about branching out, but at the right speed. So it's like you take a game or series, your core of sorts, and then you focus on core and growing through that. And then when you're done with the core and you've kind of like, you can't do anything more with it, you branch out with something else, but you find something very similar to your core, but different. And I'm like, yeah, there are definitely dark themed horror games that aren't from Project Moon, but similar to some of their games, and I'm like, oh, yeah, because then I can do that, and then I play those games, And then you find, when you're done with those games, you find something similar to that. That's a little bit different, and you branch out and you branch out. And you keep an overarching theme. Like, for me, that would be horror. And maybe RPGs, because, funny enough, I was like, well, Library of Ruin, Olympus, they've got the horror theme in, but they're RPG games. And I'm like, the more I looked at it, over, like, games that I own that I want to stream, I realised there's a lot of games that are, like, both horror and RPGs. I was actually surprised how many games like overlap. Anyway, now we're going to switch back to the tier list talk, because funny enough, we're back talking about Project Moon. Let me rant about Library of Ruina. It's not going to surprise anyone that my opinions of this game and how much I've streamed it are pretty good. Olympus was a good, enjoyable RPG game, but I always thought it was a bit brain dead with its like basic content. You need a boss fight to really do the strategizing, or because otherwise, normal battle clicky win rate. So it's like, hey, wouldn't it be crazy if there was a game that was a bit more of a fleshed out Limbus company, and like every fight you had to put in effort and lock in for. And that is where good old Runa comes in, because Runa, it's such a rough thing for Limbus, because I remember for a bit after I started playing, it's so weird that we've got the video in the background, because it's like his Betty's to the left in that video. It's like, oh my god, it looks like there's two Bettys. It's just multiplying, it's out of control. But yeah, that, like, I didn't know if I would vibe with this, because I'm like, I'm not good at these strategy games and deck builder. But it's like, it's simple enough to get into. There's a big variety of builds you can do. You can kind of get a bit silly with it. As long as you read boss and enemy passives and learn. And goddamn, this game has sucked up so much of my life, or unlife, should I say. And, I mean, with how often I stream it and I'm locked in to try and get the true ending for it, yeah, I absolutely love it. It is, like, I like Limbus. I'm just love horror both well written games, but this game's writing, it is just so much good world building, and it has so much good character moments, and it just overall, the gameplay is great. The OST is peak. It is stuck in my head, and I use it like everywhere for editing. No wonder. So again, I don't need to say a lot about it. Now that we're back on tier list talk, Library of Ruin easily. I'm sorry, FF14, like, I have to put like Library of Ruin at like the tippy top. Because this game is just like consumed my life, and it's so goddamn impactful. I love it so much. Though I hate it sometimes. Like, sometimes it's a bit brutal. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it hurts and I need to take a break, but I always find myself coming back. It might be Stockholm Syndrome, we're not entirely sure, but like, goddamn, like at the end of the day, I love this fucking game. Sometimes hate it, but I love it. Now, funny enough, speaking of game that I love and hate and have covered, you know what? I got to bite the bullet. Let's talk about Outcome Memories, because this is a weird one. And funny enough, this was another game that was one that I I felt compelled enough to make a video on it. And it's so funny because I had a chance to catch Sniff and have a tiny bit of talking with them, and it was interesting. Because I made a whole video, right, talking about my thoughts on Outcome Memories, saying nice things about it, because I'm like, you know what, I was an old guy, I roll my eyes whenever someone says a good Roblox game, and I think that's cringe as fuck. But Outcome Memories, surprisingly a really good game, and I was definitely enjoying my time with it. But sadly, I do gotta say, and this might not be the fairest thing to say, I have to say that this is a case of a game where, because it's an online multiplayer game, and sadly that is something that does not pair very well for the fact that I hate this game's fucking community, right? because Roblox is kids, right? I, I hate it. I hate it so much. The community is an absolute dumpster fire, and if there's one thing I can say, I feel so sorry for the outcome memory devs, right? Because they're like, well, from what I understand, they're a bunch of like college students like making their first like passion project game, and I swear on a daily basis you're hearing of some new fuck shit that they got like threatened over or whatnot, or harassed over. If it's not a drama story within the um dev team itself, the devs, they ain't all innocent, but I don't want to talk about that drama. All I'll say is that if bad people sadly get caught doing bad things, that's a big oof, dude. I don't want to really go into the details about that. That's not going to. I feel like I'm in a daycare center when I play Roblox. Yeah, that's a very fair statement. Cause God, I hate it. Cause it's like, man, having to deal with kids is like the worst part. There's a reason why I play Outcome. I generally just do it with friends. Cause okay, it is a good game. I gave it the praise, right? The characters all have unique builds. 2011X fucking sucks as a killer, but the new killers that came out were neat. But that's part of the problem is, like, the fan base is kids, and the kids didn't like the new killers. But my theory, right, my tinfoil hat theory, is that the kids got away with bullying 2011X because he's a really weak killer. So they've been trying to bully the other killers, which I've seen in plenty of games myself. And Colossus and Tripwire are killers you cannot bully. This is a survival game where you have to avoid them. And your funny tools should be used to stun them, to use as a gateway tool. You stun and you run, you don't bully. And because of the skill issue, like, yeah, they get murdered and they will cry, and because so many kids are crying, the devs gave into peer pressure and nerfed the fuck out of them. I think Tripwire is still okay from what I've heard. But like, bruh, Colossus got fucking neutered so hard, it's painful, and it's like, the community disappoints me, and it's like, this game, I said it was a good game that had a lot of potential, and I still want to believe that's true, but if this is how the community is going to be, and if this is how the dev team wants to place the community, I don't know. It might really be a case where I got to say, I'm sorry, the community has ruined it. What could have been an otherwise good game for me. And it's like, I got to say, nah, my enthusiasm for the game kind of died. And it's funny because to go back to the funny talk me and Netpad, we talked about the timing that I released in my video, because it was like, oh, oof, bad timing. You released it, and then right afterwards 0.2 came out. You could have covered the new update, and I'm like, dang it, I could have. But with how much the community killed my enthusiasm for the game, I don't think a video would have came out if I waited till 0.2. So it's like, yeah, we'll leave my video on Outcome as it is. I'm happy enough with it. Funny highlights. I said nice things about the game's potential that could end up being true. Like, it might not age so badly, but we'll have to wait and see. It's a very uncertain future for the game, I gotta say. The kindergarten isn't other audience, the peanut gallery. Whenever they do something, I hear a big stink of it. Yeah, it hurts, dude. It really hurts. Like, honestly, the community makes me want to throw this in trash, but it's like, there is a alright game there. Fuck you, actually, Stormblood has some real good stuff about it. I can't put you over Stormblood. I'm sorry. Anyway, let's go back to talking about something nice. Let's go back to talking about horror games. They make me happy. And you know what? We're going to talk about a real recent one, actually. We're going to talk about Juniors, which was actually recommended by Timeless. Because Timeless streamed this and I only caught a tiny bit of it. So I went into this mostly blind. Because I was kind of curious about it. And, Timeless, I remember he gave me like his genuine recommendation of this game. Said that he found it a really good time, like all the way through. And he's like, "Hey, you're a horror streamer. Please, you should maybe also play the horror game." And I'm like, you know what? I'm not even just gonna play the horror game. I'd also like to stream it myself, see what it's about. Uh, Now, to kind of talk about my opinion on the Five Nights at Freddy's series, I don't really fuck with it, right? I used to think really lowly of the game when it first came out, but over time, I'm like, when the kind of hype died down, I'm like, you know what? I can see some good things about these games, and I think the earlier games, especially, were doing some neat things, and I'm like, I'd say so. But I was never a crazy huge fan of the series. Um, but yeah, Juniors, I really like Junior's spin that they took on it. And for those who don't know and didn't catch it, which I'd recommend because we covered the whole game in two streams, it was really great. Juniors works quite simply. The animatronics they wander around, right? And what you're looking for is a ghost will possess one of the animatronics, and it will leave a clue, one clue at a time. But there's various types of clues that the ghost can leave to show what animatronic possess, and they each work in different ways that you have to tackle it. So you have to get into this pattern of what clues the ghost's leaving behind, and then process of elimination to find the possessed animatronic. And I love it. It is it's such a well executed concept, and it leads to, again, kind of like Still Wakes the Deep. It was a very short game and very simple, but the execution was good. It was good, it was solid, and I literally had a blast with the game the whole way through, even when I was struggling, because they give you a plot twist at the end where I think we can skip to this, where for the sixth night, the final night of the game, you have to you're pretty much playing FNAF 2, and then they put a twist in that as well by having you deal with Mango after surviving your average FNAF 2 experience, and that's great. That is how you make your final night spicy with consequence. I might give more recommendations when I find more good games to you. Oh yeah, please, absolutely. If you made a very strong first impression with your recommendation. So I would definitely welcome more recommendations from you, Timeless. But yeah, short, sweet, but very, very solidly made fan game. Absolutely loved it. So now the question is, how much did I love it? Oh man, definitely no lower than B. Like, this could be a high B easy. Like, above Heaven's Word, absolutely. I'm actually gonna say above Still Wakes the Deep. Um, but like, I don't know. I can maybe see myself going back for the challenge next. Though I've heard some crazy stories about the challenges in this game. Like, dare I say, I want to say I was more invested and excited than Juniors. Just a bit more than that. I might put it in A tier, honestly. Uh, like, yeah, I'm quite happy with that. And funny enough, right, we're jumping early, but I guess another, like, horror game I played that I quite liked was It Steals. Because It Steals was one that I remember hearing about it years ago from a horror YouTuber, Pastra, who does like analysis videos on various like horror movies, horror games. Great guy. Would absolutely recommend to fans of horror that want to like consume various medias of it. Could not recommend Pastra enough. And I remember it was a game he talked about once, but obviously that was like years ago, and I'm like, you know what, I'd like to give this game a shot. And I absolutely loved it. But eventually the love kind of died down, and we'll talk about why, right? Because the way It Steals work is it's based on going around in a maze, very Pac-Man. Like, you go around the maze, you collect balls, and when you collect all the balls, you clear a stage. But the way it does this is there's a special gimmick to each stage, right? So the first stage is very normal. You just go around and the creature Legs will chase you. But Legs is scared by the flashlight, so if you hear him coming, you turn around quickly and scare him away because he'll constantly try to ambush you. You know, it's scary, tense, spooky, but mechanically made quite well, and I enjoyed it. I liked watching you play this one. Oh, dude, yeah, I actually do want to finish this game, but we'll get to why I didn't finish this game in a bit. Then you have stage 2, which is the same thing, except you don't get a flashlight now. This was a funny one. Yeah. I had a lot of fun playing it. Stage 2 is very similar, except the difference is you don't have a flashlight, you have a flash camera. So you gotta have the reaction speed to turn around and then flash your camera at Legs to chase him away. And it makes it tense and harder. That's one thing I would say about this game, because even Nate said, because he's also played this game, this is a tough game. This game is hard, but I like it because for the most part, it's fair, but we'll get to that. So yeah, it's great. It's good. Third stage is the one you're currently watching now. Hide and seek. I loved it. Hide and seek was such a unique concept because you're going through the maze collecting the balls, right? But the monster hides from you. I've never heard of a game or never experienced the game where the monster hides from you. And this is why you see me creeping around so tensely, because there is the tension of if you find the monster, as you just saw like a minute ago, it will chase you at a really, really high speed and it is hard to avoid, and you gotta hide. Very tense, very good horror, and really, really fun. Tough though, this was again another tough ass stage. Like, you can see me like hiding for my life. I got found, ran into a dead end like a dumbass. But yeah, very, very tough. Then we got to the fourth stage, which is the walls. And this is where my opinion goes down, because the walls, oh hey, Unleashed. I forgot we had that in that stream. But like, I didn't like this. I didn't like this stage, and when I do many attempts at this stage, I start to feel myself getting infuriated, which is something that rarely happens. So what happens in this one is you have your flashlight and you gotta collect the balls. But the monsters in this one blend into the walls, and your little device, you have a little device that beeps when you're nearby. So you gotta like avoid the wall monsters, and you've got a timer. When the timer runs out, your device and flashlight die, so you'll have no way to detect the wall monsters, and they will just jump your ass. So you gotta get into one of 3 bunkers that you can only use like once each. But the maze structure, obviously, it's hard to find a bunker and the entrance to it, especially in time, and then it's tough. But the thing that starts to infuriate me is, unlike the other 3 stages, the rules of this one are inconsistent, because they say, oh, even in the death quote, they say, oh, the wall monster will back off when you look at them, if you're caught. You know, you shine the light, you look at them. And I swear, like, sometimes they do that, but sometimes they just don't give a fuck, and you just gotta run for your life. And it's like that inconsistency is what really started to annoy me, because it actually like ruins some of my runs. Because you know, sometimes you just can't help but like aggro or trigger a wall monster or 2. And I don't know what the 5th stage holds, but it might be good, it might be bad. I don't care. 3 of the stages are good. So overall, it had unique concepts, really good, and really cheap. Like, we were talking about how you know, Sonic Racing was a good game at an expensive price, which kind of ruined it a little bit. This game's really cheap, and it's really, really good. So honestly, my gripes with stage 4 aside, I would honestly say, I mean, I feel bad because this is going into the same placement. Uh, but yeah, I think this is just another one that goes into A tier. I actually think, yeah, Junior's X Series, I don't know which one I'm going to put a bit above. I actually finished Juniors and didn't get infuriated at all with it, so it gets to be above, but it still's really, really good. And we'll talk about one. Okay, here's the plan. I want to talk about one more horror game, and then we're gonna talk about D&D and Daggerheart because this is where I can do big. Like we'll transition back into like big talk again. Um. Ah man, yeah. You know, no, we're gonna talk about two horror games actually, because one I've not got a lot to say about, and one I do have a bit to say about. So let's talk about Escape the Backrooms because this was a game we've played quite a bit of. I played both this game in early access and then we played a bit of it in 1.0 when it was supposed to be polished, but so Backrooms. Where do I even begin with my opinions? This one, simply put, I think Escape the Backrooms is a neat game. It has a nice variety of things to do in levels of chases, survival focus. Very nice, very good. I generally enjoy it and think it's an interesting game. Also, I had a huge laugh. With the game. Because we had a lot of laughs. So obviously you see this one here, the cursed early access stream. Where we kind of crashed the game with having double the player count. I'm not gonna bash on the game's running performance for this because it was our own fault for breaking the game with this many players. But I am going to get cranky about my 1.0 experience where the game had plenty and plenty of glitches that just made the game frustrating to play or downright unplayable. We never actually finished that run because Neighborhood was glitched. And it's like, it hurt, dude, because this was a good game. Maybe not the best horror game, but good game with a lot of buggy messing. In fact, some stuff, but it's like, it needs a lot more polishing before I could really see this as good. Dare I say, another potential game. However, I ain't gonna bash this as hard as outcome. So Escape the Backrooms. I can't put you in B tier along with like Night Rain and Still It's Deep. You go above or below Stormblood. I'm not actually sure. You did give me a lot of laughs though, so I'll put you at the top of C tier. And now, we've got to talk about World of Horror, right? Because now that I've kind of been groundy, we need to go back to positive. I feel people know exactly where I'm going to go with this. So, World of Horror, if you've watched the streams, you probably know this game was introduced to me by Vice. And when I went into the first World of Horror collab stream, I really had no idea what I was in for. But when Vice DM'd me about it and gave me a basic explanation, it sounded intriguing, and I'm like, well, World of Horror, I like horror, sure, we'll give this a try. Best decision of my ever life, because I absolutely love this game. I've talked about it in the streams itself, how this game just like the atmosphere is right. I love the sound, the atmosphere, and it's like the way you go about this game, because there aren't a lot of horror elements in it besides like the obviously Lovecraftian horror styles and a lot of Junji Ito inspiration, which I think is great. Love my Lovecraftian horror, and I think Junji Ito, great work, great to be inspired by him. But then you've got stuff like, like when I had my moment of witnessing like something truly evil, where you find something like that exists, and oh wow, the tension just skyrockets. But and then, you know what? I unlike you, this goes back to the thing I talked about with Night Rain. This is a game I could easily see myself playing like a lot more. Hell, even though thanks to being generously gifted it on Christmas, you're gonna be seeing a lot more World of Horror chat. You will see this game a ton more. Uh, Even though I'll be playing it alone, yeah. Honestly, if Vice is still up for it, I could probably see myself still doing the collabs though, because it's just that much fun doing it as a duo. Eat the horror game. Like, yeah, this was, yeah, like, I cannot say enough good about this game. It's good as a horror, it's good as a roguelike. It, it's so good. Like, and, to go back to the Night Rain thing, this is easily one, I did say. Could see myself playing this a lot. I could probably unlock most, if not all, stuff in my own fight, and I'd probably still be playing it, I think, just because of the amount of like random ass events that can happen. Vice is a cool guy, damn right he is. Oh, definitely something that I'm so glad I got to meet this year. Well, actually, no, it was actually around the tail end of 2024, but like, at least I made talking about people that I wanted to spend time with. At least I made time to spend with Vice in this community because they're all great, right? As if like yesterday's Gramble session doesn't like scream that enough. Um, but yeah, so what are the honestly, I think it's definitely an S tier game, but I don't know how high. Yeah, we'll leave you there for now. Kind of fun hanging out and go like, oh, dude, every time we hang out, even just some of the smaller chats we've just had like over Discord, it's a good time. And I'll definitely like, I was ranting earlier about people in communities that I want to hang around more in 2026, and I guess like spoiler, yeah, yours is definitely one of them, but yeah, I've loved World of Horror. Now, I guess from one bit of sappiness on to another, you know what? I've been leaving this lingering. I want to talk about this, like D&D and Daggerheart, because this is definitely going to be a big impactful part of 2025, because so as I kind of touched on earlier when I was talking about Final Fantasy 14, Nep brought me into a friend group. We did the FF14 shenanigans. Joe, yeah, he knows what's coming. And that's good. Obviously, this includes people that you've probably seen in my chat community, like Sally, Joe, and definitely a lot of others. Which, it was good. We hung out, we went through, they joined me through my early FF14 days. And then, we did our stuff. And that other stuff included, like, D&D, because, that group, it was like, okay, they would sometimes, usually on a weekly basis, do D&D. And, they were quite nice. They were like, hey, if you're not playing D&D, you gotta stay muted in the voice chat, but you're welcome to join, listen in. They're very welcoming about it. And I remember one day, I had a spare day, and I'm like, I'm kind of curious. I don't really know much about D&D and tabletops. I forgot. I'm trying to actually remember what was the first session I remember like listening in on. The two that come to mind, I remember there was like one that was like more typical fantasy setting. And I'm like, oh, okay, usual like adventuring stuff. It's like, okay, I think there was something about like a thieves guild. You all were like hiding from a church. And it's like that was good. And then like all of a sudden, like partway through the session, that like I forgot the exact details, but I know shit got wacky, and I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? What fucking wacky ass criminal war crime turner? What the fuck are they doing? But like, it was like, what the fuck are they doing? And like, the coolest kind of way. I'm like, okay, hold on. Is this what D&D is? Because I'm really intrigued. Because, so one thing I'll say, and I guess technically I'm going to expose myself as a liar. Because, you know, not long after that, you know, experienced that. I think I experienced you when you first tried running Cyberpunk D&D. And it was, yeah, good, interesting. And then obviously shortly after that, it was like, oh, you know, Jovens was running one of his campaigns. The player count was getting low because people had to leave for IRL reasons. And you know, I was invited. I'm like, hey, you've been listening in on D&D. I bet you want to join. And I'm like, me? You want me to be a part of your wacky campaigns? And I'm like, I don't know if I can do it. I'm just a little guy. But I'm like, yeah, if you want the patience to teach me, sure. So, you know, people, you know, several people were happy to go through the ropes with me, building up a character. Um, you know, my first one, yeah, okay, so, yeah, the first character I made, we called him, Bram Tefish, and he was a Dampier. Very, very creative and not on the nose at all with my inspiration. But you know, my first ever character, you know, baby steps. Uh, and yeah, I always remember going into that first session, and it was a blast. I loved it, and I was like, yeah, I'm definitely eager down to do more. And you know, I've done a few sessions with a few DMs and loved it. Now, the reason, sorry, before I get sidetracked, I talk about lying is because obviously they had asked about my D&D experience, and I'm like, oh no, no, I need to be taught from scratch. Technically a lie, because years and years ago, I actually did play D&D once, but we did a one shot, and I took part in trying that. But that was, there's no way I can sugarcoat it. It was an awful D&D experience because even basic encounters took forever, it felt like. And it was like the blandest like adventure you could ever imagine. Like, oh god, I imagine I could share it, and I'm like, god, I'm sure a few of the people who know the D&D would be wincing at it. It was like as boring and generic as you could have made an adventure. Like, nobody did any crazy out there plays. The DM, like, literally, I can sum up the adventure as like, okay, we were adventurers in a town, and we heard about ruins of treasure. Go get the treasure, right? Go for glory. Get the treasure. See what it is. So it's like our adventure starts. You know, we do a basic introduction of our characters, and then we don't even travel to the ruins. It's just like, okay, you travel to the ruins. You are now at the ruins entrance. Like, nothing happened between being at town and going to the ruins where the so-called treasure is. Two goblins are at the ruin entrance and we fight them, right? Now, I don't know. This is where I try and flex. I'm like, okay, I tried to be interesting because I think I was oh yeah, and we were forced to be like level 1 for the goddamn campaign, so you know that's part of the reason no one could do anything interesting. And I think I was like, well, barbarian warforged, so I tried to be funny. I'm like, okay, can I just like pick up and do just like slam dunk on goblin? But whatever. The encounter takes like almost a whole hour against just two goblins, because they were made so goddamn bulky. And it's like we go in the first room there was a golem. You fight the golem who doesn't do anything interesting. Then you go into room 2 and there's a sleeping dragon. You pass a very generous stealth check to get by the dragon. You're now in the final treasure room, and there's a bandit. He's the boss. He only does like normal basic attacks because he's a level 2 rogue. You beat him. You got the treasure. The heroes then went back and you celebrated getting the treasure. The end. And it's like, not a strong first impression. You know, in contrast, like, you know, like, yeah, like, well, when I went into Jones's campaign, it's like, okay, party came out of an interdimensional port. Oh, you know, my character gets unfreezed out of a chamber. Security robots attack. We fight our way through. Nep is a small bird person. We gave him a gun. Because magic might have been a bit too dangerous for us in the moment. Then, you know, another friend, Atlas joined and he wanted to do his first day experience. So he joins. He's a turtle guy. People are being racist to the turtle. We get to angrily yell at the racist people and we're like, hey, gonna threaten you, you know, I use my like dampier intimidation. I'm like, don't be racist or I'll spill your blood in or, you know, yo, chill guy. Uh, oh, and also like, you know, it was such a wacky cast of characters. Like, because I know Sally's character Nana lives rent free in my head. This half orc who like has so many injuries that Nana should be dead. Somehow Nana is still alive, right? Because it's like, okay, I may need to be corrected if I'm wrong here, but from what I remember, it's like, well, half her face is burnt off from like radiation. She basically caught like a magical nuclear version of cancer. She like got one of her arms tore off and replaced with a mechanical arm. And later on, while I was in the campaign, she got a hole shot through her chest, like just missing her heart. That funny half orc is a ticking time bomb, but she's going strong so far. And then, you know, Daggerheart is pretty much just the same. It's just as good. You know, there's more initiative for the players to do stuff because there's no sick turn-based order. And that's been a lot of fun. Because for that, you know, I decided to play a character of a essentially like serial killer clown who you know, part of it, I'm like, okay, I don't want to solicit with this killer thing, so I'm like, he was a killer, but now you know, he's discovered the joy of adventure and he's a loose cannon, and I've done a lot of risky, dangerous loose cannon shit. Arlecchino, oh, clown. Yeah. Um, you know, this would be so funny to admit on stream. But yeah, so the thing is, it is a you know Snicker Snack the thrice killed yeah. But yeah, because I know Timeless will get this reference. It's funny because you know I got the inspiration for a sort of yeah because it's a clown from a circus of serial killers. But you know the circus died out, and you know, Timeless, you might notice that it's like, oh, circus filled with killers, with a standout character being a fucked up clown. Yeah, my character might have had a lot of inspiration from the 8 o'clock circus from Rune. um. But obviously there's definitely some differences between like Snicker Snack and Oswald because I didn't want to go for a 1-to-1 translation. Also, I don't think I could mentally handle role playing as Oswald. I think I would mentally break with that. You sneaky. Do you know what's so funny is the fact that Sally or DM for the uh that Daggerheart campaign likes to, you know, tease and roast me about how obvious it is when I always make a, because so much of my stuff that I do is like either a Bloodborne reference or it's a Project Moon reference. And that was like one of the few ones that went under the radar. It's also funny because for the backstory of my character, I'm like, oh yeah, I was like, yeah, one of the you know, one of one of the other members of the circus was a necromancer. You know, they would kill members of the circus and then bring them back via necromancy. And you know, when this person brought the people back from Dead with Necromancy. It's like they treated them almost as puppets. Like this member was like a puppeteer or something. Uh, yeah. So a little bit of 8 o'clock circus reference, and then we took a little bit of a Jehoon reference. And now Jones has probably heard this and can expose Sally that I snuck 2 separate Runa references and one from a character. Uh, but oh wait, hold on. Why? Oh right, I need to change my scene. But yeah. Anyway, my sneaky ass sneaking Runa references and besides, uh, yeah. You know what? I gotta put I don't know which one I would call better, but like I gotta like, dude, the weekly like Daggerheart D&D sessions we do have become like a highlight for me. So it's like they absolutely go to the top of S tier. Like they were just they were just too good. They were peak. Speaking of peak, let's talk about the actual game peak itself. Because I've got opinions on it. So if people don't know what you're referencing, that means it's original. That's my entire campaign in a nutshell. Yo, Sorcerer so based, all of that thinking. um, but yeah, so let's talk about peak. So I only literally got peak the other day because fun enough, same friend group, right? We're playing it, and I was like, it's cheap, it's popular. I know a lot of people play it. I'm gonna pick it up to play it with them. It's also funny because I don't think I told you this, Jones, that on our second day of playing Peak, I got so many DMs from people that were like, "Oh my god, Unleashed, you on Peak? Bro, that's Peak, bro. We gotta play it with you sometime, yo." And I'm like, geez, I did not realise people had such a high opinion of this game. Uh, Not killing for it, but why do you have Still Wakes the Deep there? Um, because it was a good game. I really liked the writing of the Lovecraftian horror and how accurately, the Scottish people were written. Brought down by the fact that it it wasn't very deep. The fact that like a lot of it was just walk through. The puzzle solving was really basic, and the enemies were really easy to work your way by. And it was all the same. Throw thing, distract the enemy, and you can get by them quite easily. And it's like I like it, but I couldn't bring myself to put it. Actually, now that I see juniors and it steals are on A, maybe I should put Still Waits the Deep on A actually, because the more I think of it, it's actually kind of fucked that it doesn't get to be in the same tier as those two. We should gather those folks up and do a huge. Oh, that's right, because we can mod it to do a huge one. Oh, that might be true. But yeah, so yeah, Peak, I've only played like, what, 3-4 hours of it. Initial first impressions of Peak, a very good game. I could see myself playing a lot. I don't know if I'd put it in S tier material. But I'm going to put it at the top of A. Still Wakes the Deep. Let me think about this. You know what? Yeah, and you know what? You didn't piss me off at all during your run. But like, the good parts of it still, I feel, are better than Still Wakes the Deep. It's just that it's got that bad part. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Actually, I'm quite happy with that. Oh, but yeah, absolutely. We need to do a lot more Peak. Do like a huge. Yeah, because I know quite a few V-Frame members also have Peak as well. So who knows? It could get a very big session. To my recommendations on A tier, that's pretty good. Yeah. Um, oh, that's right. You were one of the people that recommended it Still Waits to me. I forget because so many people recommended that. I think Still Waits to Deep might have been like the most recommended game that I've ever had. Um, Hold on, was there anything else here that was like a recommended? You know, I'm talking about Peak, which was a popular game, so like, let's talk about Repo. So, Repo's a tough one, because I'm not fully sure where I would put it. Because it's a good game, right? Flatline, I like Repo and it's good. And as you can see here, two modded streams, really fucking good. Because I was talking about this, where was I talking about this? Was the other day about um the difference of games like Lethal Company and Repo, how they're similar but different. Repo embraces a more sillier vibe with friends, and meanwhile Lethal I feel has the better, more horror aspect to it. And obviously, I don't hide my love for Lethal, especially modded. That's a very powerful game. Repo is also really good, but I don't know. Sometimes I do struggle to find the motivation to be like, let's go, let's play Repo, because it's like sometimes Repo sessions can start to feel a bit samey after a while. I wouldn't go like brain slop, because I actually do think it's still a good solid game. It's still getting updated, and there's mod support which the devs are very based and okay with, and that makes it really really good. But it doesn't motivate me as well as like a lot of others do. But then again, we did get the recent update with a lot of new enemies, and it's like they are interesting. The enemy variety, I will admit, is really good. I mean, like ancient. God damn, I don't know. I feel I shouldn't have laughed at that, but it's like, yo, true. Oh, but I won't lie that there have been a lot of times in people that do bring a lot of laughs. Like I mean, hell, in the last session we had of like how many people getting drawn into the flame thing and dying, or maybe trolling me with the head speaking thing. Ancient. Not even old enough to be called it. Oh no, you might have misheard me because of the accent. I said angel, not ancient. Look, given me my age, funny undead guy that I can't really go around calling people ancient, so don't even worry about it. Even though I'm onk, cough, cough. Nah, now he's giving me excuses to roast him. I hate it because I feel I've been putting a lot of horror games in A tier, but it's like, yeah, but like maybe at the bottom of A tier. Actually, A tier or maybe B tier. See, I don't know. Peak might be a bit biased because it's got the shiny new experience for me, even though I've watched plenty of streams of it. You know what? Nah, because I gotta remember Heaven's Word is down there because it's really good with like some really bad parts of the slog. Oh boy, now I gotta find like yeah, we can find something else we can put in it. A tier that isn't A tier. Let's step away from horror for a moment and let's talk about Schwarzer Blitz. And now, for those of you who weren't around when I streamed this game, Schwarzer Blitz is a free, small, tiny, fan-made little fighting game that is really, really fucking weird. That's all I can say about it. So it's structured like very similarly to like your old like Vulture Fighter and Tekken's. You'll see that very clearly when I bring the this is just me in the train stage, but yeah. So Schwarzer Blitz, very weird game as you can see. We've got like uh Johnson, who's like the protag of the game, I don't know, weird faceless guy in a suit, and then a funny chef skeleton Rattlebone, because why not? But yeah, this is a weird ass game. It definitely has that old school game vibe, but not the most polished thing. But they knew what they were trying to recreate, and for what they were trying to recreate, it's decent enough. But you can see here, like a lot of your combos is just like mash button several times, and then kind of like you're usually taking inputs for supers. I think it's intentional though. I think they knew what they were trying to do and recreated it successfully. But it's one of those things, because especially if I go like further in, because you'll see eventually, I find out that the game can just get very wacky, very silly. Also, this is a cursed ass stage, because you can easily ring out on this one because of how tiny it is. It's like, yeah, because basically I remember that spinner move. I learned I could just spam that, and that was like the play with Rattlebone. So it's like, yeah, it as neat as it is, and while it's got general polish, it's also just horribly balanced, and you can get really dumb and wacky with it. And I think, I don't know, it's kind. I don't know. I know I'm kind of like fighting between C or B tier in my mind, because actually I can't put Schwarzer Blitz like next to it. It's like it's similar vibes to Escape the Backrooms, where it's like good game, but it's such a whack fest. Was this January? This was, yeah, yeah, this was like January. This was like the start of the year I streamed this. God damn, that was like way back when. But yeah, I literally played this game once, tried it, and it's like, yeah, I don't really have the interest to go back. But I still had fun with it, unlike Blue Protocol. And I guess some of were on the games that left me kind. Yeah, because I met you in February. Oh my god, he remembered and he used the process of elimination. Oh, well, I can't make old jokes or jokes, because it's like, oh, he's still young, got a good mind on him. Oh, but yeah, probably, because, like, and I guess we can take another detour and go down memory lane. Like, yeah, because hold on, what was it, like, what? I guess we can go on, uh, coverage of, like, what kind of shit have I done this year, cause, hold on, where was this? Okay, 1 year ago, so that's gonna be a bit too far back. Uh, yeah, this is too far back, because the competitive FNAF stream that I did with Nep, that was last October, because that was part of Halloween. And yeah, I started Limbus in 2024, so that's, yeah, because that was like among one of my first like Limbus streams. Jolly Murder Festive Time, so that was Christmas when I played DBD with Ted. This one, Raven Raid? January 2nd. Oh god, so like, yeah, oh wow, that's painful. The first stream. Unless that was like, oh, a late upload, but potentially the first thing I streamed in 2025 was Granblue. That's so fucking sad. I'm so glad I stopped playing the Granblue gacha game. Stick with the side games. Don't be like me and play that gacha. It's a horrible gacha. Oh yeah, that's right. And then Orange Juice with like Nep and others. That was, oh god, funny one. Oh, and see, now I'm just reminiscing of like certain individual streams. It's like, that's what I remember. abducting Shima to risk it into. It's a shame he didn't vibe with that game. Or absolutely would have played a ton more with him, but you know. Oh, there is a yeah. Oh yeah, it was a really long we did Schwarzer Blitz. Um, I love it. How the fuck have we never played Risk 2 together, Jones? We need to fix that at some point. Especially we got other Risk 2 players. Uh, and that we know we got to get them in. But yeah, Lethal Company, some DVD, obviously Limbus. Yeah, God, Kazan, the first Berserker. I completely forgot about that game. That was a good game. Maybe one day I'll actually buy that and play through that game. And then obviously you can see Final Fantasy and Wilds. It's so funny because I remember I was surprised when I saw my Twitch recap and Final Fantasy 14 was my like third most streamed game. But honestly, looking over this is like, yeah, I can see it. Also, surprisingly, man, I actually did do the occasional Gramble stream. I actually kept somewhat up to date with that game. And then, you can see it there, the start of the World of Horror streams. God, actually having to scroll up a bit is like, man, we have actually done a lot this year, huh? It's just crazy scrolling through it and actually realising it's like, damn, I've streamed that much in this year. Always into decline, hell yeah. But yeah, so we weren't even talking about it again. That was just general reminiscing. Uh, no, I ain't done with that channel yet. But yeah, let's go back to like rating games. So, uh, actually, I think one thing we'll talk about to go back to like reminiscing, uh, Library of Ruin and Randomizer. After, you know what, a random? Oh yeah, because I think I remember seeing like a roguelike style randomizer mod. That might be one thing I do actually touch on for Runa. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Um, but yeah, I guess one thing we'll touch on, funny enough, is early copy reviews given to me via Keymailer. Because we had two instances of devs that definitely were happy with me to play their game earlier, and then just like end up letting me have a full copy of their game afterwards. And that was Night Swarm and Drink Human Beans. Now, we'll start with Night Swarm since it was the first of the two. I feel bad because this game apparently has gotten a lot of updates and I haven't touched it, but I have been like looking at the dev updates notes of what they have touched. Now, for those of you who weren't around for it or don't know, so this is a very like Vampire Survivors like inspired game, but they definitely go into the vampiric angle because it's like, oh, you play as a vampire and you're going through conquering your enemies, yeah, so on and so forth. Imagine getting distorted again on conquered, cursed, bro. But yeah, and it's definitely a neat game. It definitely does the formula right, but it's like I did have a few nitpicks, right? And that's that a lot of stuff definitely felt very familiar, and that's good. That's fine to show your inspiration, but then it's like, well, where's the uniqueness? What makes this game stand out? Also, I'll be real. I'm kind of sad that they kept this style for it. Which is like, Oh, it's like it's a figurine moving on top of a table and it just shuffles about. I it's not the worst design ever, but it's like, while I get the stylistic design choice, I would have preferred an actual like character model moving running around, because I don't know, it kind of like takes me out of it, and it, I don't know, the style doesn't work, because it's like, it's fine and it's good, but there's nothing that really made Night Swarm unique or stand out to me. The ally system was pretty neat and good. That's like the one unique thing I think it had going for it. But like most of the time I would play this game, be like, I would much rather just be playing Vampire Survivors instead. Um, this is made even worse by Megabonk, because Megabonk has a lot of similarities to like Vampire Survivors, but it's in a 3D plane, and it clearly has some unique stuff it's going for as well, with the way it builds its characters and some of the items. And I'm like, hell yeah! I could either be in a Vampire Survivors mood, or I could be in a Megabonk mood. So it's like, you can have your inspirations stay similar, but also like, if I don't spend forever in the menu, um, you know, you can stand out as something like, you. Also, oh my god, I forgot to put Megabonk in the list. How could I? Um, yeah, we're adding that right now. Uh, but yeah, and it's like, I don't know. Maybe I mean just like comparing it to its inspirations and being like, oh yeah, you don't stand out enough and these did it better. But I think that is like, you know, a fair thing I can say. Um. Also, thirdly, it has copyrighted music. Yeah, a lot of the Melee songs are copyrighted, sadly, but thankfully they never do full on strikes. But if I need to watch out for that uh, theme, yeah, I'll thank you for that heads up, Timeless. Um, but yeah, so we had that, and it's like, I don't know. I might need to revisit the game maybe to change my opinion, but I think on its own, as its own merits, I think it's an okay game. It doesn't have anything majorly wrong with it, but it needed to do a lot more to stand out in my opinion. So I think it does just go in B tier, just middle of the road. Um, but at least I've got an easy, simpler opinion on it, unlike the next game that I'm going to be talking about, which was, we got the chance to play the horror game Drink Human Beans, and there is no easy way for me to talk about this game, because Drink Human Beans, as the weird title might suggest, it's a weird fucking game, chat. Um, so it took me a while to fully click what they were going for, because, you know, looking at the devs and so and stuff, it's like, okay, it's very clear that it was, you know, focused around the horror of technology. You know, technology becomes sentient. You've got like this like company that just only messages you via like phone messages, and they're very like desensitized to humanity. And it, besides that, the rest of the message isn't clear, because I couldn't finish the game, because it gets very, very cryptic and vague when you in Tyler and shit, and it's like, I didn't vibe with that. But I mean, it was definitely unique, but a lot of it was just like walking and reading messages, and it like, in the moment it was cool. I was kind of caught up in the atmosphere of the game, but I remember when I turned the game off, I was like, holy shit, was I like tricked into essentially playing a walking simulator just with tiny extra steps? And I think that's a harsh thing to say about it. I don't think it's really like that, but man, it's so fucking weird and jittery to like progress and go through. Like, but they have like, there's witty writing in it, and I think they've got a really good idea. Because it wasn't until I looked at like some stuff from the devs themselves and talking about the game, um, the devs mentioned that they're not a fan of AI. They think AI and people's growing reliance on it is a frightening fucking thing. And this is kind of what inspired the game, which obviously, like, okay, anti AI, I'm all up for that. Which is a bit funny though, because the devs did also say that they actually did use AI in this game. Now it's very minimum. They disclosed the fact that it's only a few images, like for I think the coffee machine and some other stuff, that were AI generated because they wanted something for like their machine display to look normalish, but also have that weird uncanny valley look to it. And that's the only reason they used it. And it's like that's, I guess, an understandable excuse, but also like I think they failed with that because I never really looked at the coffee machine and I'm like, guys, the coffee machine looks uncanny. I never even noticed it. It never crossed my mind. Um, and it's like, I don't know. I'm probably missing plenty of stuff. Honestly, I'm talking about it and hoping that I get a clear opinion of what to do by talking. I still have no idea where the fuck I would place this game. I'm gonna be real with you. Like, it's so fucking weird. And it's cryptic and vague to progress, and but there's some interesting ideas there. I'm looking at games in C rank that I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry, drink human beans. Like, maybe if I go through to figure you out and see more of what you have to offer. But I don't know, I didn't fully vibe with it. It wasn't absolutely awful, but mm. And I guess while I'm talking about funny enough horror games that were cryptic and vague, the same for No One Lives Under the Lighthouse, but that was definitely inspired by older retro styled like horror, and it's like, yeah, that was kind of like, it makes sense why it's cryptic and vague. Also, if there's one thing I'm gonna say nice about No One Lives Under the Lighthouse, it actually had really good atmosphere, an interesting story. And also, there is one thing I love about it. I need to see if I can find this on my stream. Because there's the moment when, you get the tension with the monster that's on the island with you. And when you finally encounter the monster, this game does a really unique thing when the monster appears. When it appears, the camera changes to the monster's POV. And you're still controlling yourself though. But you gotta run, while you see yourself. And it's so interesting because it's like, you don't get to see the monster. Only kind of like tentacle thingies. And it's like, it's so cool because it's like, honestly, the only other example I can think of that is like Rayman 2, when you're getting chased in the Cave of Bad Dreams, and you see the POV of from inside the monster's mouth as it's chasing you. Like, it reminded me a lot of that, and it's like, it's such a cool, unique thing though. It's like, I don't know, it was something that I thought was really, really cool. It's like really good atmosphere, but it was brought down by like the vagueness of it. Like, man, I don't know, but I definitely did like it overall, like a lot more. Like, I definitely think it's definitely not up in an A-tier game. I definitely didn't enjoy it as much as any of these, but yeah, I think here is the right spot for you. And just because I talked about Megabonk, let's. Megabonk's another one that's just first impressions. I've only gotten the chance to play a tiny bit of it because, this was a generous Christmas gift off Timeless. But I could see it being really good. because like I said, Vampire Survivors, like, clearly it's unique and doing its own thing. And I'll. This is a tough one, because definitely it's matching the A tier games, but it's like, man, I could see myself like playing a lot of this. Potentially could be an S tier. Um, but I think for now, just going off of first impressions, I'm gonna put it in. I don't know, like bottom of A tier. It made very strong first impressions. Um, like yeah, it was really good. Oh boy. And oh shit, I realise that. Okay, actually I'm not that low in time, I don't need to rush much. Uh oh, speaking of gifted games, actually we do have what, two more, yeah, two more gifted games in this list, so let's tackle them. First of all, we'll tackle La Mulana. Because I was gifted this from Sally. Because you know, I like Metroidvanias, and La Milana is a rage game Metroidvania, and boy oh boy does it like live up to that title of it, because oh, uh, it definitely had its frustrating moments from my first impressions of this game, but I actually played a little bit after it stream. So yeah, you know, uh, a big thing with this game is, like I said, Metroidvania style, but rage game. A lot of like got you moments. You get your ass beat by enemies. There's a lot of like traps because you're exploring a temple, right? So there's gonna be a lot of traps and stuff. And I actually don't mind that. Because you can be observant enough to notice them ahead of time. But also, there's a thing of this game loves dropping cryptic riddles. And also, the puzzles in this game are convoluted as fuck. It is like a universally agreed upon thing that if you're playing this game, you pretty much like need a guide to play it, because yeah, because it's like puzzles are overly convoluted. Riddles are put for you to solve, and you need to solve the riddle to understand the clue to a puzzle. But also, like, the riddle could be in one area, like a basic starting area, and then the riddle could be about solving a puzzle like 3 areas away, and it's like, I hate that shit. That's just not fun for the sake of it, and I hate that way more than the goddamn like haha rage got you moment. But also, to say some good stuff about this game, La Milana has a fucking phenomenal soundtrack. It's great, and also like, hey, traversing the areas, they're good. They're well designed for a Metroidvania, even if it's like the rage game kind. Like, it wasn't. It didn't have as many got you moments as I expected it to have. Because I was expecting it to die like every couple of seconds. You've got a holy grail I never found on stream for convenient teleporting, which I think having a convenient tool like that is just great and fair. I definitely think this is a game I need to revisit and give more time for to get a more solid opinion. But honestly, for now I'm gonna put it at the top of C tier, but I want you to know this is a game that could easily like slip into B tier, potentially. But I don't know. As much as I like it and do want to play more, I never found the inspiration to like put myself through that like pain. Because it's like a game that I would got to pull up the guide along for. That hurts it. In fact, you know what, that hurts it so much. I'm actually knocking it down a bit. Yeah, sorry. Go. Actually, I just thought it's wild that I have like Stormblood behind Schwarzer Blitz. Like, okay, the writing is bad, but there's a lot of good stuff to the game. But yeah, go here, Lava Mulat. Nah, actually, Schwarzer Blitz is too silly. I got to put Lava Milana above it. And another game that I never played a lot of because it was rough and kicked my ass was Rain World. But god damn, like this was gifted to me from Nape. This game is tough, but god, it just, man, the atmosphere of this game was like really fucking good. And it honestly, I could see myself going back to playing World more than like um La Milana, like and the art style, like look at this fucking game chat, like look at how fucking beautiful it looks. Oh, I actually forgot it looked this good. Like this is definitely a game I want to revisit and give a second chance, and more so than La Milana. Because I keep thinking about it every once in a while, and then I get distracted with other games, and it's a shame. Uh, Rain World has an yeah, because it has its chill moments, and I don't know if anyone knows the Oddworld games like Abe's Odyssey. I loved playing those when I was younger, and Rain World gave me some similar vibes to that, but it's like, you know, you're going around as a little slug cat. It's got some chill vibes, nice exploring the world. You know, it gets a lot of scary of the enemies, and then when the rain is coming, oh my god, that's some like horror vibe shit. Cause it's like you will learn to fear the fucking rain. And I come from Scotland where rain is natural, and I vibe with the rain. So like you make me fear rain, like nah, that's some fucking actual great shit. Um, like again, this is one that I'm like basing solely off of. I could see this being an Esther game, but it's like I don't know, because it was the big thing that put me off was just like how much it kicked my ass, and it's like, God, I just wanted to need a breather at the time, but the story is really good too, but you got to get past baby slip. That's, yeah, because you only get like the basic one and the monk one at first, and then you get the fancier ones that I've seen Nip play. And I imagine that must be really good. Like I could easily imagine in the future, like doing more Ring World, and I could probably put it in S tier. But for what I've played so far with first impressions, I mean first impressions, you know, is that mean of me just to say when first impressions were good and I'll put it in nature? I don't know. I mean, I've seen bits and pieces of Net playing the game, and it's like, okay, I get the general gist of what's expected of me later, and you know, I played a bit more off stream. I think I put a total of like 5 hours or so into this game, so it's like I definitely think I've got a better first impression of it compared to like La Milana or whatnot. Um, so yeah, um, and you know what? Speaking of games and Nep, here's another one that I got inspired by Nep. Good old Rabbit and Steel. Jesus Christ, this fucking game. Um, yeah. So, have you ever wanted to mix the bullet hell of Toho with the raid mechanic vibe of FF14? You get this game. Um, yeah, if you expect just, oh, it's like a game about cute little bunny girls, it'll be fine, it'll be good, and fucking wrong. This game is hell. It is brutal, but also goddamn like, you know, it is funny because you know, like Final Fantasy 14, you know, you learn the boss mechanics and the partners, but like you can see here, like I remember playing with Nate going into this shit, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And it's like every boss is unique. Like there's so much shit. Like, well, you've seen this shit, chat. Like God, you know the trauma's coming back to me now. But you know you have many unique classes to play with the different like bunny girls. For different play styles, you got the roguelike wonder of different items. Like I did like this game, but this game was like rough, and you know what? Not even rough in like the nice way. I won't like at times this was a bit overstimulating to me. Like this fried my fucking brain to play, and I still feel absolute garbage to even with like hold on, I want to look how much did I try to play this game before I kind of just put it down. Okay, 6.5 hours. Okay, so actually not that much. Not even only a little bit more than Rain World actually. So maybe I could have looked in to learn more. But as much as it beat massive with myself, and I can't deny there's fun to it. Like Rabbit and Steel, you're definitely better than all the C rank games. B. Yeah, I like you more than these two. I like you more than Night Rain, though. Yeah, no, I think that's where you belong. Yeah, and then we come. You know what? I was so worried about having to like maybe find some filler stuff, but damn, this like mixing the reminiscent with the tier list is actually taking up the time. I am a certified yapper. But yeah, so where do we go from here? Murky Divers, this is another like first impression game because I literally only got. So it was so funny because I remember it was Shima that recommended this game to me, and I bought this ages ago. Um, when it was on a huge discount, and it's already a cheap game as is. Because we wanted to do a collab with this, but Shima was like, "Oh, we need 3 people. It's too rough with 1 or 2." Um, we like certified yappers, right? I mean, I would hope so. Clearly, I'm doing something right if people are still staying. But yeah, Murky Divers, I wasn't sure of because I thought, okay, it's. You know. It's like. This was by the time we'd seen a lot of the. You know, games similar to the vein of Lethal. I don't want to use the term friend slot because I fucking hate that term and I feel it's disrespectful to a lot of these games. And that goes for Murky Divers because it's definitely unique enough to stand on its own. Because, you know, the exploring underwater is a bit unique. But also the submarine controls. Oh my god, controlling the submarine got so chaotic. And, you know, I don't even need to pull up a stream or a video. I have one short. Wherever it is. This one short will sum up literally my entire opinion of how trying to coordinate with people to steer a submarine in Murky Divers be like. Hold on. Yeah, I'm just gonna let this play for itself because yeah. Steering my best, Captain. I'm giving her all she's got.
A little bit more ease.
Right, well, we ain't going southeast. We're like.
That's good. That's good. No, more east. You like keep turning it south. Hard east.
Bro, this is east. This is east. This is east as it gets.
Go left. Go north, bro.
West, north. What the? Okay, you know what? I'm fucking. That's it. I'm stopping the ship. Right. Right. Okay. So we were at east.
Northwest, bro.
Northwest? Where did northwest come into the equation now? Okay, fine. I was steering my best. Yeah, it is quite the experience to say the least. One yapparoni pizza, please. But yeah, it's good, solid. Definitely got to be on the ball though to like not leave evidence when people die, but I don't know. You know, it's unique enough. It stands on its own. And the submarine is a wacky experience for multiplayer shenanigans in itself. I think it's another one that's just, I don't know, it didn't wow me enough. Like, say to the extent of like reporter stuff in A tier. So it's like, you know, we're clogging up B tier a bit more here. I don't know, like, do I like it more than Rabbit and Steel or just a bit under? I do think Rabbit and Steel is a bit more funkier and unique and stands out in my mind more. Right, what else? Oh, Neon White. So, this is where I'm contradictory, right? Because I know the Neon White streams that I did, they weren't vibing too well, and also with the setup issues I had, and also just how this game was. Not gonna lie, bit of a rough game to stream because I felt it was just mostly like crashing out, and maybe the repetitive nature didn't work too much for a stream. Gameplay aside, a speedrunning, platforming, parkour game with FPS mixing, which was I mean the FPS bit was a bit of an unpleasant surprise. But the platform fan in me loves this game because I said it before when I played the game. The gameplay loop works so perfectly within itself, and this fits the speedrun nature of the game so much. And I've been playing a lot more of it off stream, just casually. And God, I love this game. The writing is whatever, like, I kind of wins the writing. It's definitely not great, but, like, ignoring it. Honestly, I think this is, like, yeah, I think I gotta put this at, like, do I like it that, do I like it enough to put an S tier? I don't know. Because it's like, oh, nah. Nah, even if sometimes I'll be crashing out on some levels, it's, like, really fucking good. As I don't know. Maybe I want to put World of Horror a bit higher. Oh boy. But yeah, now for another game. Now this is a game that I've only got a few hours in. And it's also like a first impressions kind of game. Dark Souls 3, I talked about this earlier, let's talk about it now. So yeah, after we had problems with the like co-op playthrough of Sally, I have been playing the game myself. And so far I've actually gotten up to where I was with Sally, and I'm debating whether to continue the game in my own time or to stream it. Because I'm very split on it, especially with other stream ideas that I have. I'm like, maybe I just want to enjoy my first Dark Souls 3 playthrough on my own time. And then if I like the game enough, maybe I'll do a secondary playthrough, different build idea for stream. But yeah, first opinions were really, really fucking strong in this game. I got my ass beat. I'm not good at FromSoft games, and this was proof of it. But here's the thing. Even though I got my ass beat like a lot of other games on this list, I was having fun all the time. And not even just because it's all, even in my own playthrough, I'm having fun. I'm having a good time. Like, the game just knows how to get me invested in it. And it's like, oh yeah, this definitely reminds me of like, Bloodborne. And yeah, very strong first impressions. Like, if they keep up the quality from, everything up to that they've done up to like the Curse Tree, if everything is like of this quality and or better, this is a game that's going to be really, really high up on my list. And the first impressions were strong. In fact, unlike a lot of my other first impression games on this list where I wanted to be cautious, Dark Souls 3 gives me confidence. So I'm gonna put it, I don't know, because it's the first impression that I want to wait and see. I'll have some caution, so I'm gonna put it on the lower end, but it's going in S tier. It made a very, very strong first impression. I want to play more Bloodborne. It keeps crashing. Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that. No, they're robbing him of Peak. And speaking of Peak, we've got one game left, Monster Hunter Wilds. Now, when this game released, it was a bit controversial because, people's PCs were exploding just trying to run the damn game. But, eventually, it took forever, but they did eventually fix the goddamn. Hold on, this should be in my recent videos. Hold on, where's the funny. Yeah, straight away. Yeah. Oh, it's so good. Like, they eventually fixed the issues. The game is definitely my favourite Monster Hunter so far, and this is just a base game. Like, they ain't even got a DLC expansion out yet, so it could get even better. And I'm specifically showing Gogmazu here because I waited 12 years for this motherfucker to come back. This is the best fight in the entire series. My opinion has not changed on this. So fucking good. Now, Yeah, there's some minor issues, like maybe the Arson form being endgame isn't the greatest, but like every Monster Hunter endgame kind of gets a little bit railroady. It happens. I'm kind of used to it at this point. I'm still having a ton of fun with the game. I still fucking love it. Uh, yeah, definitely my favorite Monster Hunter so far. It has the potential to become so much more. I cannot wait for Master Rank. Absolutely hyped for it. Because a lot of the fights, like, I was a bit stingy that their Arc Tempered fights were mid with, like, Raydal and Uthduna. But, like, Nudra was a good challenging fight. That was cool, actually, because, me and Hanzo teamed up to take on that. And then I took on Arc Tempered Jindahad, and that was a good, solid improvement of a fight. What an Arc Tempered should be. Um, and I put waves, I don't know, Dean Dagger, because that's a fucking like life game. Maybe not that high, but like, oh, it's great. And I'm so glad it's like, look, you know what? I talked about being a grouch evil guy, but I turned out to be quite happy and positive towards the end of it all, because most of the games end. Well, maybe not most of the games, but like S tier's the biggest tier in the list, right? And only one game got placed into trash, like non-ironically. So I'd say this was a pretty good year for picking up new games. But yeah, we've kind of touched on it, but I think we're gonna end up, let's talk about the future. So, in the future, I'm planning to lock in. It's been a peak year. uh, nah, I don't know. I don't know how the fuck to. I mean, I guess stream content wise, it's been pretty good. Um, I've been, cause I won't lie, I don't like to talk about numbers and shit, but like, it's been a nice substantial growth. Obviously, getting to meet all the new friend groups have been great. I've already talked about that. Focusing on spend more of 2026 with the homies who really matter. And honestly, show more of my appreciation to chat. Because sometimes I feel I don't appreciate the community enough. It's like y'all been really great. I would be literally nothing without y'all. How the fuck we got all the way up to 200 followers, I still don't know, but I'm so fucking thankful for everyone. Um, but yeah, like I was kind of touching on, I'll be looking to improve stream here and there, just improve myself as a content creator overall. Um, on streams, obviously, I'll be aiming more for, really, really, like, polishing my craft as a dark themed horror streamer. We're gonna be playing a lot more stuff. Obviously, Project Moon ain't going anywhere. We've got new Olympus Company content we're doing right at the start of the year. We're gonna finish Runa, maybe revisit Lob Corp. But like I said, we'll be branching out into other stuff, growing in other horror spaces. Hopefully have more V-Freak collabs, I'm hoping. Kira, thank you for the blood offering. But yeah, because to kind of tease, when I was talking about games that are similar to Project Moon games, and thank you for the hydrate, I'll take that. But yeah, stuff that's similar to like Project Moon games but different. Part of that, like, the good branching out tactics I heard and learned about. Like, we got, Inscription and Darkest Dungeon on the list because those are two games that I've wanted to play, and they're similar. Darkest Dungeon, horror RPG, a lot of like suffering and sanity mechanics, and I will definitely suffer playing that game. Well, like, I'm looking forward to playing Darkest Dungeon, but I'm also low-key dreading it at the same time. But I think people who enjoy my like Runa suffering will fucking love it. Oh man, because I've definitely seen my fair share of other people play the Darkest Dungeon duology, so also base, thank you for that. The worm. And then, like, we've got a huge list. Darkest Dungeon is fantastic. Of course, you're a Darkest Dungeon fan. I think when I play. You know what? We could do it together for fun, but hear me out, Timeless. Potential collab idea. Multiple people going through a Runa randomizer at the same time and seeing what horrendous clusterfuck things happen. I think that would be a really, really funny stream idea. But like, even if a streamer, yes, okay, well, yeah, peak idea. Oh, it would be, but like, I mean, like, literally, I've got a whole list of like games listed for 2026 that I want to stream. One thing we'll also be doing Pokemon Insurgents because I keep promising people it and I keep pushing it back. Early 2026. Hopefully, some point in January, we are starting that funny cult Pokemon game. I promise you, chat. We're gonna do it. And if I don't do it in January, you can start yelling at me about it because I keep promising it. People keep being hyped about it, and then I keep like being a dick and teasing it away from you. But like, y'all will see it. I promise. I haven't forgotten about that, and we've got like many more things. Like whenever the game decides to cooperate. One of my big goals for 2026 is that I want to stream Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Because I love it, it's lore. I keep praising it as some of the best vampire written lore ever. Yet despite all that I know about it, I've never actually played the game myself. And Bloodlines, like, that's the classic, that's like peak vampire game. And I, the vampire VTuber, have never played it, and I feel that's a fucking crime. You haven't? Yeah, it's like, despite all that I know about VTM lore, I've never actually played it. It's so weird and it's such a crime. But, yeah, it's so funny because I already know what I want to do. So, my favourite clan in that game, or in that series, is the Malkavians. But the problem is, for those who don't know, Malkavians have a unique power that they can see the past and the future. And it usually drives them insane, and it's cool because I'm like, oh yeah, be crazy, vampire with like psychic visions. The problem is, there's a well-known warning that I know about with Bloodlines is that you should never pick Malkavian as your first class when playing through Bloodlines. Because it'll spoil the game for you, and somehow I kept blind about the game. So, it's like, okay, my favourite clan, save it for the second playthrough, and I'm like, what else is there? Thankfully, another clan that I really like, Gangro, is playable, with no major consequences, so, yeah, spoiler for whenever I get round to streaming VT and Bloodlines, yeah, I kind of want to do a Gangro playthrough. Not a good first player clan. Are you talking about Gangro or Malkavian? Because, like, yeah, Malkavian I know absolutely, but it's like, I don't know. Gangro, they've got funny stuff. Okay, yeah. Yeah, no, the game would just get spoiled for me because of the future sight and past sight. Because I know there's like certain plot twists that you'll just get to see through because of your visions. So I'm like, the plan is I'm gonna go. I want to stream my first ever playthrough. I think that would be neat. But goddamn, Bloodlines hates being streamed. I need to learn how to get it to work. But yeah, that will be in the works. We'll do a Gangro playthrough, and then if I enjoy the game enough, and people enjoy it being streamed enough, maybe I'll stream my Malkavian playthrough. If not, I'll probably just play that in my own time. We'll see. But yeah, like a lot, and like the list goes on. Like, I'll actually give you a little sneak peek. If I read through the list, like everything that I've got listed, right, that hits the like horror niche. Pokemon Insurgents, Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines, Inscription, Vampire maybe, because did try playing it and it was a very, very fucking jank game. We've got Mori, V-Rise, and Darkest Dungeon, more World of Horror, Look Outside, and Stars in Time, and another big one that I've talked about before actually, revisiting Baldur's Gate 3 and doing a Dark Arts run, just go full evil mode. There's also some of the older Castlevania games, because I've been meaning to play some of those that I haven't played before. Like I've got 4 Bloodlines and Rondo of Blood. I don't know how people would vibe with me playing Castlevania, but we experiment, we try it out. And I've also got the Bloodstained trilogy, because Bloodstained is a fucking fantastic series I need to introduce people to and spread propaganda of. But yeah, it's late. I've done a lot of yapping. For those like in chat that I'm not gonna get to see, I hope you enjoy the rest of your 2025 and the celebrations of New Year. I want to say thank you for a fantastic year. Or can I be the silly punny guy? The low hanging fruit vampire one. Thank you for a fantastic year. But no, like it has been a great year. I've definitely come to enjoy streaming. Oh shit, I never talked about YouTube plans. YouTube, everything has been okay, but I saw like the big interest in views, like the in the hundreds and thousands from doing Project Moon content. So YouTube is gonna be very Project Moon content focused, but my plan is to get people with the Project Moon content and then slowly slip into the horror content. Overall, kind of like what I'm doing with Twitch right now. That's the end of the plan. It's just gonna be a slower process there, but we'll see. I'm sure with my rascally vampiric ways, I'll figure out a way to get that done over the year. But yeah, thank you for everything. I won't be streaming for the rest of 2025 because I want to spend the time with friends and family. But I hope you all have a good New Year's Eve, have a happy New Year, and I will see you in 2026. January 1st, we will be streaming a new Olympus Company chapter, so, starting off with that funny Project Moon shenanigans. Anyway, I will see you all later. Let's find somebody we can raid. I mean, there is Shima playing Omori, but we did raid Shima last time, so is there anyone we haven't raided? Oh! I see Nell. Okay, Nell has just started streaming some Grand Blue Versus. We did fit like yesterday because we were doing the Grand Blue Versus collab, but yeah, you know what? We have not raided Nello in a while, so yeah. See you next time, Friday. Yeah, I will see you all later. See you when I see you, and I hope you all have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, night. Right, let me make sure. Bye. Yes, bye everybody. Thank you for coming. Bye bye. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me have your raid message, and for the people who are subbed, we can have, hold on. Twitch, why are you being finicky? I should be better prepared about this. This is part of the polish up I need to do for 2026. There you go, and there's the subbed version for people who want to flex that. But yeah, let's go raid Nello and see what fighting game shenanigans she's doing in Grand Blue, so bye!